Oh man, R.I.P. to the legend New Jack. R.I.P. New Jack. And we're back. Episode 58. I am your host, as always, Mr. Matt Musselwhite. I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Bryan Kern.
What's up, y'all? Are we ready to fucking get weird tonight? I feel like we're getting weird. It's been a
y'all.
weird week. Yeah, I did. I live in Texas.
That's what I say. You must have a pickup truck. We are joined by R&B songster Kyle Lucas. What is going on, Kyle?
What up, guys? Thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Dude, I'm stoked to have you on.
Episodes before I got on here and just catching the vibe.
Wow, you still showed up. You still showed up. That's dope. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
people like to walk that line, you know.
There's definitely a reason we don't show like, oh yeah, here's a sample of what you're getting. No, just join and we'll sucker you into it.
You're either in the know or you're not in the know, you know.
It's too late to back out.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah, dude, man. We're excited to have you on. Some style and some class added to the episode a little bit. I put that on earlier, but I feel like
think that
we get grungy, we get heavy, we get weird. We're bringing in some soulful.
That's got to be a shot at me, right? I'm not the classy one.
No, not at all. I mean, I just feel like we have a bunch of hooligans that ride around in vans and headbang all the time. You know, occasionally we have like a band that is like kind of poppy, but we got some you know, maybe making music up in here. You know,
I want to say I've done Warped Tour twice, and the first time I did it in a van. So I think I'm about as grungy as you can get. If you do the first Warped Tour in a van. Yep. Then there's another level of dirt that you've been up like
that puts hair on your chest.
Exactly, because it is not routed to do that shit in a van.
No,
it's
not
like
at all.
Said they're like they're telling you not to do it. Like I don't think like everyone was saying because it's so routed in the crazy like 17-hour drives through like Nevada and stuff.
Yep.
You need to be in a bus. There needs to be like, and the second time I did in a bus, and I was like, oh shit, does this mean I made it? Because if that's your level of success, it's so subjective. But it's like I did Warped Tour in a bus, then I made it, right?
They definitely don't route that thing. Like, I don't even think they ever intended for people to be traveling in vans like that. Like, the whole, like, van tour is brutal.
I remember
on
them
its
saying,
own.
they speaking against it, saying, like, it's dangerous. Like, you should, like, there should be no vans doing it with those long. I remember it was everyone was highly against it, people doing it. But it's like when you're first one, you're hungry, all you do is tour in a van. You're like, I got 6 guys that you're used to it, but
what are you supposed to do if you can't afford a bus?
But the way they route it is like definitely. Oh, they really don't want you to do this shit in vans.
No,
like,
yeah.
They really
the only favor that they do you with the routing, and this was like I know for sure the last 3 years they did this, maybe a little more. They realized halfway through the tour when the bands would travel through. I think it was heading west through Texas. A lot of them would get stopped through checkpoints, and then they would miss the following dates. Because they would either get popped or arrested or ticketed or something would happen.
Because there's that customs right there in El Paso.
Yeah, and so now what they did is the Warped Tour would start in Texas, so you would have to go through the checkpoints and get in trouble just to start the tour. So when you start in Dallas and then do San Antonio and Houston and head east, it's done. You're done from there on. You don't go to Canada, so no one's getting denied or arrested at the border. Like, they know what goes on. And Brian's gone. I swear, if you're not going to get a better drink or bring me some like Takis, he's messing with lights. Yeah, Warped Tour is brutal. Like that was the only favor they did anyone, and I thought it was smart because you don't want the bands like dropping off and losing your acts. But
do you think it's to discourage people from following the tour? Because you know people would follow the tour in vans and try to play the parking lots. They would try to get on. Sometimes like mid tour, they'd get them in.
I honestly just think it's not safe. When you go out to the West Coast, it literally is like kind of sketchy if you have a guy driving a van trying to keep up with the pace of a bus with all the like altitude changes and stuff. I just don't think it's safe doing mainly in the West Coast. It was just West Coast, then the Nevada, the desert region when you're doing the altitude. Yeah. I don't think it's safe to try to keep up with a bus to make the dates. So they found a bunch of people just like speeding in vans that you can't like physically keep up with a bus. And
the bandwagons are stuck at 64 65 miles per hour. And so those vans will keep up, but man, it is I remember the worst drive. We had to like crisscross between Wyoming and Denver. Like we had to completely bypass Denver, go through Wyoming to Boise, and then backtrack Boise through Wyoming into Denver, some shit like that. I just remember I took Adderall for like the first time, and it was a horrible experience.
But
I don't recommend it.
It's like they routed like through like darts at like a map, and then on the West Coast, and they're like, keep up. But if you're the sound guy that's just with a 4-piece punk band and you're driving a fucking Astro van or like a church van, like you can't physically keep up with these spots they've done. But if you like are a bus driver and you're sleeping all day, and it's different. But it's always when you're touring in a van, you're obviously driving yourself, switching, grab your sound guy, the merch guy, but it's not like, but you're also in the sun all day. So it's not, I just don't think it's like safe, honestly.
In like I remember like 2007, 2008 time, there would be bands that would miss a stop. They would miss a stop just probably because
they got arrested.
Or they fucking got, stuck in whatever crazy madness of travel that was going on. And I'd also remember they would start in California. Like there was a chunk of time where the Warped Tour would start in California, like in Los Angeles, do the whole fucking country, and then come back to fucking Chula Vista, all the way back.
I think
and it's
Pomona used to be the first, and it would end with Carson.
Or fucking Chula Vista or
that
something.
routing went to hell like a decade ago.
You want to know the most wild story is the first night on my second time on Warped Tour, the first night. So I'm just starting in Dallas, fly in, it's all whatever, we're starting. The first day is starting, it's my first time in a bus. That night, going to San Antonio, my bus ran into Real Big Fish's bus and like totaled it in the middle of the night. Then we had to all pull off.
I bought weed from them.
Yeah, and I love that band too. So I was just, but here's the kicker: is like, of course, the air conditioning went out the first night, so I was so hot. And they always say sleep with your feet up towards there in case some shit happens, but nothing ever happens, right? But the first night, I left my bunk because I was so hot, and the air conditioning went out, and so I was sleeping in like the kitchen area where the kitchen's behind me.
Slide.
We run. I wake up to running into like at 4 a.m. All the beers and stuff from behind me from the kitchen fall on top of me, and then we total Real Big Fish's bus. So then them and all their wives get on our bus at 4 to try to go to San Antonio. So we're taking like tequila shots at like 5 a.m. after the cops leave, and it's just like this and I'm like, damn, this is my first night on a bus on Warped Tour, and what this is like, you have those random dreams where it's like random celebrities, and then Lil Wayne was serving me tacos, some random shit. But I'm like, it was like then we ran into Real Big Fish, and I'm taking shots of tequila with their wives because it's so crazy. It was like that type of situation. That was my first night.
The fact that they take their wives on tour with them is a fucking another level.
I mean, when you're OGs like that, like I think that's kind of how you gotta make that relationship work.
That is true. That is true.
Brian's about to get married, so he's already thinking like, "Oh hell,
I gotta take her on fucking tour. God damn it!"
You got to, man.
That's the whole reason to get away. There's been a few shows announced lately. I know a lot of people are stoked that Korn and Stained are going to be touring together. You guys stoked for that lineup?
Our boys El Nino are actually on a couple of those dates as well, if I'm not mistaken. We're trying to get them here in the studio and interview them.
What up, Marcus?
Yep, I'm super excited for Korn to do some shows. I know that they're also doing some festivals. I think they're doing Louder Now and Riot Fest, Smashing Pumpkins. Like, I'm just excited that we're getting shows back, guys. It's only going to be a matter of time before we're live, at a show, doing some interviews. I'm pumped for it.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be cool.
I saw the Riot Fest thing today, and I'm cool with the Coheed guys, and I saw they were playing it, so I was like, oh, that's dope. But then it was also just crazy seeing, oh yeah, we're having festivals again. So it's like just seeing the announcement, and it's not some like 5-year away that they were trying to do last year where everyone was like posting dates, and then it was like, but it's 2 years away, and I'm like, don't give me hype for that shit.
Yeah. I mean, there's still bands that are canceling. I believe My Chemical Romance was supposed to play the Riot Fest, if I'm not mistaken, and they dropped off.
I don't think they're ever coming back. I think
we had tickets.
Ruined their return.
We had tickets to their show in September last year, obviously, and then it was moved to September this year, and then now they've stopped all dates this year. So who knows what's going on?
You know who's replacing them on festival dates, right?
I don't know who.
The Misfits, the real fucking emo band, dude.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Like the full lineup?
I guess. Are any of them? Hey, Jamie, are any of the Misfits dead? Yeah, no. It's supposed to be the whole thing. I mean,
I'm for it.
Michael Graves ain't there, so I don't want to be a part of it.
Jamie's his cat, by the way. If you were wondering who he's talking to over the left side there, it's his cat.
That's actually a total bullshit lie.
I was gonna say, because I didn't know the dynamic, so I was like, it could be true, but I don't think that's true. But if it is, I'm for it.
It's the producer from Joe Rogan's podcast.
Oh yeah, what up?
There's a new j.cole album that I've totally ignored. I've been hating on him so hard on Twitter. I'm
really?
definitely I'm probably the odd man out on this. I think j.cole is the king of boring.
This album's definitely boring. It's not as popular as last couple. And
Twitter loves it. Twitter says this is the hottest shit out.
Twitter's gonna love fucking anything, bro. You
But did you see the Leakers freestyle? You see that?
I listened to the interlude and I wasn't impressed.
But I'm saying I haven't heard the album. I knew it like crashed Spotify last night. But I'm saying I was posting about his freestyle that he did on LA Leakers, and it's just like it's like I'm like an MC nerd. I'm like a lyrical nerd. So like I love the like double, triple entendres type shit like that. And he just, he's been gone for so long. So, and now that anyone at any age can make music and just put it out. So you've got to understand, as far as hip hop, it's very muddied and it kind of sounds like the bar is so low. So if you watch the LA Leakers that he released 2 days ago or 1 day ago, he just goes in. And it was like great. I remember thinking like, damn, this is why I like hip hop. This is why I like MCs. Like it was a great fucking showcase of lyricism that we just don't have at the moment.
What do you guys feel about him signing to the Rwanda-based Patriots basketball club? Did you guys hear about that?
I want a jersey right now.
He's played basketball in high school. I believe he's played in like some like semi-pro leagues or like some.
Well, he went to St. John's in Queens to play that, but he realized, you can't. I mean, you can't just like
the music
St. John's, like they want him. They don't give scholarships for rapping.
Walked on. That's what's up.
I could walk on to St. John's right now too. I could walk onto their campus and walk right off.
I'll go with you. I'll see if that's for real, because that's crazy. You walk onto any place, then you're like, damn, you have all those scouts and someone just walks on. You got to be nice. But if you watch the videos of him playing, he's good. I don't think, obviously, he's not NBA shit, but it's kind of dope that he's playing for Like, I'm just casually playing for a fucking professional team.
He's playing for a team in Africa named BBC. That's fucking weird.
You gotta get your head out of the gutter, man.
It stays there. That's my residency.
There's some brilliant merchandise there. Let's be real.
I can't. Can you imagine that team in Rwanda's jersey sales? I want one. I would buy one right now if it was available.
Yep. Especially
like
if it's
fire. Like I remember Master
gonna be
P
sponsored by some telecommunications company you've never
Master
heard
P
of.
played for the Hornets. Like when you had a Master P Hornets jersey and he played for the actual Charlotte Hornets.
At least he got in the D League, now the G League. Like j.cole ain't even G League material.
That's pretty hard.
You don't know this.
Pretty hard. I'm so out of shape. I can't imagine being like top tier rapper, but then like casually that good at basketball. That seems like a lot of work. I just think I'm too lazy for that. That's a lot of work.
Do you think there was a tryout process to join the Rwanda Patriotic Basketball Club, or do you think that they were just like, "Yo, j.cole, you want this spot or what? You want to play forward?"
Oh, they handed that shit to him, bro.
But then I actually watched all the videos too. He's actually like super nice too, so I'm sure. But I don't know the competition over there too, so that's like the thing, right? Like I don't know the competition. Just the fact that this is even a conversation right now is another like crazy thing.
I heard those Kenyan Lions are going to give them a run for their money.
They're getting all the white dudes from South Africa to play against first. They're just going to do all this.
It's just a bunch of dudes that look like Ninja.
From fucking...
From Die Antwoord.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the group that's getting kicked off of all the festivals.
Shit.
They're like borderline.
They're Australian. They're South African.
They're South African. They have some drama in their past that's getting them booted off festival lineups right now. So they're like semi-canceled.
Oh, they're great, dude. Fuck anybody who's trying to cancel Die.
Oh God, I'm not going to jump on board and defend them, but yeah, the music.
Yeah, I'm not even invested. But what was that? Weren't they in like a They did
Chappie.
District 9, and then they did
Chappie.
a second movie. Yeah, Chappie, that's it. Never mind.
Yeah.
That was it. They were like super involved, but wasn't it the same vibe as District 9 where shot there? It was like kind of like post-apocalyptic.
District 9 had like several copycat movies that came out of
District
the same
9
time,
was
and none of them were that good.
District 9 was Aliens, and they're doing a sequel to it. Be on the lookout for that. Chappie was a robot and like had AI and was like their buddy and like. But
Chappie is like a sequel to WALL-E.
Boot yourself, bro. Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? All right, Kyle. Now that we have the floor on the show, what have you been up to as of late, man? What have you been rocking?
Shit, man. Just chilling. You're in Texas, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I lived in Austin for like 3 years. I was there.
That's
for 3
where we're
years,
at.
And
damn, we should have hung out. Shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Austin. Yeah, I love Austin. Love all the people there. Love the scene. The
city. It's going to shit now, bro. You're lucky you're out.
Did you actually live in a home, or were you in one of the famous homeless camps they have there? Because they have so many homeless camps.
No, I was in a home. I was in a house for sure.
It's actually harder to find a home there than it is to find a homeless camp now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's the ideal residence now. Like that is the place. And then my manager has been there for 10 years, so I kind of been always going to and fro Austin, and I fucking love the city. I love the people. I love Austin. And then I lived there for 3 years. My father passed away like 6 months ago, so I came back to Georgia, came back to my house, and tried to just deal with all that stuff. But I can't speak anything but highly of Austin. That was like a great place to live, and it was a great place to get away, and I just fucking love the city. It's a great scene, great town, everything. I love it.
If you ever come back, man, we're gonna have to have some beers or something for sure.
Dude, 100%. I'm coming back. Yeah. I mean, shit. All my friends are like still there. Absolutely.
We'll get some avocado toast and some seltzers.
You can overcharge me for that.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's Austin. We'll go to a venue that'll soon be torn down and built into luxury condos.
My manager Nick Shirley is working really hard in that city and doing great stuff for all the music scene. So I honestly think it's about to hit like a surge because of the influx of obviously people there, but then the scene with the apps, the tech companies, and I mean, nothing after even the pandemic and everything with that, they're still there, and they're still. I don't know. I would be shocked if. I'm sure a couple of venues will close there, but I think they're working so hard behind the scenes that I think it's going to be okay, honestly.
Austin's a weird city, man, because it's a live music capital. That nickname has kind of been dwindling because of the venues that they're losing. But Austin's music scene, even when they have good bands in the metal genre or core genres or whatever you're looking at, I feel like the scene in San Antonio looks down on the scene in Austin. Mind you, neither one of them has anyone to really look at and be like, that's our claim to fame. It's not like there's been an abundance of acts that have bust out of here. But they look at Austin like these Austin bands have a big head because they're in Austin, but they don't really do anything. And I look around and I'm like, damn, it's weird. Like the music scene there is strange. They don't often... If you're a bred Austin band, you don't break out of that. You might go play McAllen, maybe play Odessa, maybe San Antonio. But it's hard to see those bands get signed where you look at bigger cities like, I don't know, LA, Atlanta, New York. You have just so much shit coming out of there that all that stuff gets signed. But it's just weird. Austin is such a music city, but we don't have an abundance. Like, I can't even remember the last act signed from there.
But here's the thing is that Austin was kind of like Nashville 10 years ago, where it was when they say live music capital of the world, they're talking about like bands covering shit on 6th Street. You know what I mean? And
just live music being played.
But the last 3 years, and I can only attest to that, and because my manager, Nick Shirley, and everyone they brought BMI there, they brought CSAC, they brought TuneCore, they brought ASCAP the last 3 years. So what they're doing is trying to make it the new Nashville where people go there to do records, people go there it's an actual industry city, and not when you say the live music capital of the world, because people were like, oh, you moved to Austin to do music? And I'm like, I left Atlanta to do music in Austin. I think you're just understanding it differently, because it's not just a row of honky-tonk cover bands anymore, but it was. But now they're putting there's actual agencies there, publishing companies there, there's actual record labels there, but that's only been within the last 2 or 3 years, and obviously the pandemic fucked everything up. But there's actual, they're trying to, I guarantee you in 10 years it will be the new Nashville, because Nashville has all these like societies, these agencies, and now you go there to have a scene and not just the live music capital, but nothing gets done.
It's interesting that you brought up Nashville, because the two are compared a lot. The way that Nashville is talked about now is the way Austin was talked about 6, 7, 8 years ago in a high regard, and now I don't hear that as much anymore. I still hear about Nashville.
Our boy Casey Sable is moving to Nashville in a couple months. He posted that recently, and I believe somebody else we've interviewed is also moving to Nashville. You know, you're right, Kyle, when you mentioned the industry's building out here, because, I mean, think of what South by Southwest was, right? South by Southwest was always like the industry coming to represent, right? You bring the movies, you bring the entertainment, you bring the music. We do have ACL. There are a lot of festivals that do come through Austin. You know, and most major, you know, big tours are going to come through Austin too. But I do feel like we get snubbed every now and then. I do feel like if it's the choice between us or Houston, or us and San Antonio,
Austin and San Antonio are getting the snubs now, because Dallas and Houston will get the nod above us for sure. We've lost the right amount and the right type of venues, that if you have a 1,000 to 2,500 cap room tour coming through, we're fucked. We don't really have the venue for it. It's either 500 cap room or arena and nothing in between. And that does no good when you want to go see Under Oath, you know, on tour.
Yeah. And I mean, not to mention, you know, and this is just my gripe, but you look at Stubbs, you look at Mohawk, you look at a couple of the places that are downtown, they all got curfews at like 11 o'clock. And
because of luxury condos.
And when you bring in the tech world and the people moving right next door, like it's the Mohawk, the people that live in the apartments across the street from Mohawk can literally sit on their balcony and watch a show for fucking free.
But then also, like, if you move there, like, kind of also shut up too. Like, it's not just on your convenience.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, you know what you're getting into. You can't just be like talking to some stranger on a plane. I live right above a venue in Austin, baby, and then you go and see it. But it's like, for one, but you got to embrace the fact that it's going to be set 6 nights out of the week. So it's like kind of give
at
or
10
take,
o'clock.
right?
It's quiet. I mean, shit, if you're quiet at 10 on the dot, I can't complain.
My next door neighbors right here aren't quiet at 10 on the.
And what's
and I'm not living downtown.
I do agree that we could be seeing a boom here, because a lot of the areas outside of Metro Austin, outside of Austin proper, are booming, right? We have Pflugerville, we've got
fucking booming. Dripping Springs is like blowing all of them. I told all my friends who have a shit ton of money, and I said, not to cut you off, but I need to just chime in right now. I said, if you want to invest in some real estate that's about to blow the fuck up, Dripping Springs and outside. So my house was like south, right off of Mopac. But it was still kind of far. But it was like, if I like and that Southwest. Was, dude, like I was telling all my friends, yo, come out here and buy up this place, because in 5 years it's gonna triple. But I didn't mean to interrupt. But go ahead. I'm just passionate about that because I just had this conversation.
That's what it is, and you're right, because it's. You know, we look at the dilemma now. The dilemma now is most of the venues are downtown. You have Come and Take It and Emos, which aren't really downtown central. They're kind of off skirts, so they don't have to worry about the curfews, and they're big enough buildings where they can contain the sound and do all that. But if you're a Mohawk, I mean, Dirty Dog doesn't even exist anymore. But if you're a Mohawk, Stubbs, any of the places,
they just don't do shows because the promoter got his own venue.
Yeah. If you're doing any of the shows that are in like downtown proper, you're stuck with these limits. However, the booming spots, right? The spots that are maybe south of the river, the Pflugervilles, the Georgetowns, the Cedar Parks, the places that are establishing themselves now could potentially put venues up there. And if they're smart, they carry on the live capital music of the world mantra. They put a venue in each little city, you know, as a 35, you're going from Dallas all the way to the border on 35. Right, you can easily hit Georgetown, Cedar Park. You don't have to hit Austin. You can still call it, hey, we're hitting Austin, and then just put the venue up there and people are going to know where it's at, right?
And now imagine 15 years when there's so much population out there and so many kids, and they don't have to have just their mom drop them off downtown and then come pick them back up. But if they can hit these marks along there, dude, we should talk in 15 years. And I guarantee you
Let's set this
you're exactly right. Can we do
that? We'll still be going live every Friday night. So.
Calendar reminder. Here we go, baby. 15 years.
That is very, gonna be if you were projecting something, that would be like if I had $1 billion and I'm going to be like, yo, Austin, if all these people, if like, it's like what they said, 150 people are moving there a day?
Oh, I think it's like 700 a week or something. Yeah,
Well,
it's like 100 a
that's
day.
nuts,
Yeah.
right? So that's nuts. So they can only go out on the outskirts. I would just buy up fucking everything.
You know what sucks though is there's also like right now, especially, but I'm not going to get political, but there's like a lumber shortage and there's a shortage of everything. So now like there's an
they don't even
outskirt
have
of
shit to build.
There's whole lots, but there's like 9
That's true
houses.
because
and like,
my
yo, we can
girlfriend's
only
actually a
build 9
beaver,
houses.
and she's been complaining about the lumber shortage and the lack of.
Yo, did he just cut himself off, or do you do that?
No, he's booting himself. He knows when to get the fuck out of here. Calling his fucking girlfriend a beaver. Oh man,
She probably
holy
did that.
shit, that's
She
great. Yeah,
doesn't watch
booted
the
him.
show.
That was so.
She booted him. She booted him. Hey, it's the only way she gets wood, from what I hear. So you know.
Damn. Boot
Hey.
yourself. Every time we're doing punchlines, we're just booting ourselves out of the chat.
I got a pill for that now. We're fine in that department. I just want to put a cap on this J. Cole shit. A really shitty like dad cap, not a cap I would own. But since Twitter is going crazy about this album, I've heard a lot of people say the phrase, "This is J. Cole's era." Obviously, I'm a hater and I disagree. So I'm going to ask you guys, is this J. Cole's era? Or maybe it's, I don't know, Lil Baby's era? I heard a lot of people suggest him, and I can't disagree because that boy is fire.
I read on Reddit today, and it was mostly agreed upon. But Kodak Black apparently is their album. They thought his album was better.
Fuck Kodak.
I mean, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. But
Kodak
people were saying that J. Cole's album was so like that. Kodak Black was a little bit more fire. I didn't listen to Kodak Black's album.
Are you mixing up Kodak Black and Lil Baby?
No, I'm not. Kodak Black also released an EP today.
Oh my god, I would never give him the time of day. And I love shitty music, but I won't listen to Kodak Black. I mean, I love some garbage. I will listen to 6ix9ine all day.
Speaking of, are we ready for some 6ix9ine news?
I should just start saying that. I love shitty to preface it. So then that if I just started saying that, then that would be
What's your argument going to be
love
after
shitty
that?
music.
Trust me, nobody knows more about shitty music than me. ...
That's gonna be my tagline before. So
Milli
listen,
Vanilli was light years better than Tony.
Yo, Milli Vanilli was ripped off.
No, Milli Vanilli did the ripping off.
No, I'm saying they got what I imagine sticking up for Milli Vanilli. Give the Grammy back.
They stole it, bro. They're so talented and they were robbed.
They were robbed and they gave the Grammy back. Give it back to them.
Speaking of 6ix9ine, since we so ceremoniously dropped his
Kyle
name,
Lucas should have said that it was Lil Baby because he's from Atlanta. But you're actually all wrong because this is Griselda's era.
I love Griselda. I mean, you can't really
There you
deny
go.
that. But here's the kicker is how and I'm going to ask this. How can you recognize the wonderful lyricism of Griselda and then not see that anywhere near with Cole?
Because when I listen to Griselda, it's not boring. Boop, 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 boop.
No, but I'm talking about just as far as like structure, right? So it's like you can't.
I know
like, when
Nas
you
is
say-
a great lyricist, but he still puts me to sleep.
Right, I'm saying. But here's the kicker too: is that
Oh,
that's so.
he's about to beat you up, bro.
No,
Kyle's about to
no,
jump
no,
through the screen
no.
and fuck you up.
But
man.
I'm just trying to figure out the process. So if Lil Baby
Matt doesn't have one.
If Lil Baby's great and J. Cole is so bad, but then Griselda's good, Lil Baby is like Cole's closer to Griselda than Baby though, right?
Saying
Can we
J.
agree
Cole
on
is
that?
bad is subjective and probably inaccurate. I can say factually that J. Cole is boring, but I can't come out and say he's a bad rapper.
Yeah, I think that's probably just subjective,
lyrical.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's one thing, and this is an argument I love to tell Twitter because it melts the brains of J. Cole fans. You don't even have to insult the man that much. All you need to do is say, look, J. Cole isn't a good rapper. He just acts like a good rapper. Boom, 40 comments later, you've insulted all of hip-hop Twitter. I love it.
Yeah,
He's got the worst
honestly,
stands in the game.
Well, because I mean, what other album? And I even talked about this today. Like, what other album though did when it dropped like broke Spotify? You can break Spotify, but that many people are streaming it at that time. Like Cole broke Spotify last night. Like, who does that? Don't they like Eminem did do that? Drake did do that? Any fucking whoever is big. I think when you talk to, I'm just talking about the Cole standard. I'm just in.
I would be really interested to see because I don't like Drake either. I find him to be fucking annoying.
I'm just
But
talking
if
about
you
big,
took his
big.
numbers and with the last EP he did and compared them to right now, I would say that's like breaking iTunes kind of numbers. No one said the phrase he broke Spotify, but that shit was all over iTunes.
No, I'm just saying, like,
crazy.
Cole physically broke the app last night. They didn't factor that in.
But is it because of him, or is it because of their shitty updates they had just installed and it was a volatile app?
Well, then if that's, I don't know. I don't know. But
you know what they say? It's a cold world, my friend.
It's a cold
world.
What did he say? He said it's a cold world, but the flow's so hot. What can I say? I'm bipolar. I feel you.
Oh wow! He can understand mood swings. What a fucking G.
I mean, but you like Lil Baby's? You think he's lyrically good?
I think Lil Baby is good. I think he's lyrical enough, and I think if you give him 5 years, he'll be like GOAT status.
Well, I'm not investing in their life, like their future.
I am. I actually bought the crypto Lil Baby coins, and they're going to be worth a lot in 5 years.
Probably. That's actually probably a good investment.
It's an NFT.
Infant coins, yeah.
It's an NFC. Don't you mean NFT? No.
I don't know if you know this about us, but you're talking about putting investment into superstars that go absolutely nowhere. We cover 6ix9ine every single week. Kyle.
Really? Really?
So here's the update. Here's the update most recently. As of May 8th, 6ix9ine is banned. Let me repeat that for you. Is banned from whose birthday was it? I fucked this up.
Meek Mill. He's
Meek
banned
Mill's
from
birthday.
Meek Mill's birthday party.
So
Brian, fun fact, I'm actually banned from Meek Mill's apartment.
Okay, well, I didn't want to know that. What I did want to know is, do we have a better chance of getting into Meek Mill's 35th birthday bash prior to 6ix9ine getting in?
Hey, Jamie,
I think we do.
Is that motherfucker really 35?
He is. He's 34.
He makes some whack ass music for being 35.
Is he? So he banned 6ix9ine. Like he released a statement.
Banned him. Yes, put it out publicly that he was not allowed to attend his Miami birthday celebration because they had a confrontation in a parking lot. They went.
Yeah, they had a face-to-face some months back.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But that's just funny that he
February,
just preemptively said that. I like that.
Said that he was banned, not allowed to come in, and it was on the heels of 6ix9ine getting schooled by Antonio Brown during a workout that they did last week. We actually shared that footage a little bit.
I thought you were lying about all of that, and I'd let you say it.
Because it
and
kind of
then when
sounds
we
like
logged off, when we logged off, sure enough, that shit was real.
Why would I make up 6ix9ine news? We don't need to.
I
make
don't know,
up.
Brian. Why would you kick me out of your band twice?
I don't know, because you have shitty music attitudes, bro. I don't know. So, anyways, I want to petition. We are and we're running out because we only have 11 episodes left. But we were petitioning for 6ix9ine to be our 69th guest. Looking to get a little weird, but I also want to petition us to get into Meek Mill's 35th birthday bash.
We should simultaneously just do the same thing because one's gonna hit.
It's gotta.
One's gotta hit.
Or we interview 6ix9ine from Meek Mill's birthday bash.
That would
then
be epic.
Everyone's head explodes.
Yeah. Is that gonna be one of those parties where you get like a gift bag, like a goodie bag to take home? Because like when I was 6, my mom cared about my parties and did little goodie bags, and so you'd go home with like little pencils and erasers and shit. Like, what's in a Meek Mill goodie bag? Is it like an ankle monitor, a get out of jail free card?
Fuck that. What's in a
Narcan?
It's just fucking Drake's discography since he won that battle already.
That's not wrong. That's not wrong.
It's just Drake and Nicki Minaj fucking from like 2014, just a video.
Oh, shit. That probably makes it so much because Nicki's just always with 6ix9ine too, so that's just got to make it even worse when he's just yelling at him in a parking lot. And you're just like, yo,
Drake fucked your bitch, bro.
or just that 6ix9ine is always doing songs with Nicki, and then you know what I mean, and then he's just yelling, "Those are the police! You with police!" And I'm like, yo, you are the cops. What are you talking about?
6ix9ine and Nicki Minaj did make a really good combo.
Twice, that's what I'm saying. So that probably adds to the fire, right? It's got to.
The better birthday question is, what would we get in a 6ix9ine birthday goodie bag?
Xanax,
police
a rap sheet,
Audemars Peugeot,
5 to 25 depending on the case.
No, just security. I mean, you don't just snitch once and then you never have to keep snitching.
I open up my goodie bag and got 3 years.
You're an informant, you're an informant forever. So just at the FBI, I don't know.
So they actually have 6ix9ine.
It's just a wire.
a wire and a piece of white tape. Just a piece of white tape. Just tape it on your chest. That's all you got to do. We actually have his next tour schedule lined up. He's going to be hitting 4 dates in Texas. Then he's going to be stopping by the FBI, headquarters here in Texas, and then he's going to be hitting
Langley, CIA.
Yep.
Yeah,
shouts to I've never heard of this band, Outline and Color.
Yeah,
Outline and Color.
What is that?
Outline and Color.
They must be some indie band.
Are they a new band? Are they a new band?
I have a feeling you guys know who they are.
Jordan Tupper says hair dyes. That's a great guess.
That would be perfect. Shouts to Outline and Color though. Before we move on,
no, we interviewed Skaggs. Yeah, we interviewed Skaggs a couple weeks ago.
That's my fucking best friend, man. I fucking love him.
Yeah, he's got a lot of best friends, man. He's a fucking G.
Yeah, I mean, he is. I mean.
Shout out to Skaggs. What up?
I tell Chick Skaggs is my best friend all the time. It hasn't got me anywhere, but
still waiting for you to tune into our 1 year anniversary episode. But it's okay, dude.
He was supposed to join us on that 1 year anniversary show, and he
fell asleep.
He's a busy man. He's a busy man.
No, he fell asleep. No, he's not busy. He fell asleep.
No, I think he was testing out some of that product he was making, and then he fell asleep. I don't know.
That motherfucker can operate on so much weed that it gives me it will put me out for 5 days, and it's just like taking a fucking sip of water for him.
It started off as a podcast with him, and then it just went into a whole chemistry class on how to make the dank.
Oh, really? I mean, he knows his shit though. That is he knows that the chemical compounds inside and out. Skaggs will put you on your ass.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Oh man, I've never name dropped someone so many times to get dates that I've never met before in person.
Who's
crazy?
Skaggs?
Oh yeah, all the time, bro. All the time. Steadily ruining his rep from a state away. Before we get off the 6ix9ine news, I just wanted to play 6 degrees of 69 degrees of 6ix9ine. Okay.
I like that.
When 6ix9ine had beef with Meek Mill in that parking garage, do you remember what he said to him?
He's the cops. He's got cops with him. Something like that. He was screaming, "They police!"
I think Meek did say that. I meant
no. He was yelling at. See, he was yelling at. Those are police.
6ix9ine decided to yell back at Meek Pooh Shiesty lyrics.
Meek
Mill. Funny fact about Pooh Shiesty. I want to give a big shout out to Pooh because he's been very inclusive. He is dating a transgender girl, even though he won't claim it, and he's denied it on the internet. I want to give a big shout out to him. That's very big of him. Definitely breaking the mold. You know, these rappers freak out about that shit every time there's news.
Is he not dating him and you're just saying that right now?
They're dating. He won't claim her. It's fucked up.
Whoa, then you're not for the cause. You're not for the cause then, bro. If you're not
He's not for the cause. No.
You're not for equality. You're not for equality and rights, son. What is this? Come on.
Every time this happens, because this happened with Dwight Howard from the NBA. It's happened with rappers. Every time they hook up with a transgender girl, no matter how fucking attractive they are ashamed of the shit. And it comes back to bite them, and they really try to double down on the lies. And so you got Pooh Shiesty out here just completely denying this and saying not only is it not true, but he'll fight anyone who says it's true. And then I want to look this girl's name up. She had a name. It was like Nicki P's stage name.
Is the worst name of all time, Pooh Shiesty. Okay, let's do this.
Wait, so she's 100% saying we're dating, and he's just saying we're not.
No, we're not.
Is that where
Trans
we're at right now?
girl Nicki P confirms that she's seen Pooh Shiesty, but he won't admit it.
But is there any other proof than just her saying that on the internet?
No, but what other proof would there be?
The real questions. Here we go. Asking, do you just want to take over the show?
No, just before I say anything else.
You're bringing a lot of logic into these stories, and it's starting to fuck the vibe up, bro.
I apologize.
We don't necessarly work off logic, Kyle.
I apologize. Are you just saying that, and you're like, congratulations?
Well,
I thought we were celebrating him the fact that he was dating a transgender girl.
I mean, that would be something to celebrate, though. That's
now he's hopping out.
It could be beautiful and inclusive, and he's ruining it all. And by
not claiming it.
You have a good point, because
it's pretty shiesty if you ask me.
Okay, get the fuck out of here. How would we know the truth if there's two people involved, Pooh and I want to get her name right.
Is there any pictures, like any other things than
Just
just
that.
her saying stuff on the internet. Well, that's just that's just
but, like,
a fucking collage
who
of
else-
their
who else
individual
would say-
pictures.
I said
Who
it's
else would-
shiesty. Nah, yeah, I thought it was funny. He didn't think it was funny.
It wasn't funny. Who would be able to comment on their relationship besides rapper that denies it and transgender girl who claims
Yeah, because
it?
of the shit that happened with Chingy though, and then Sydney Star
I got
was
the
like,
blue
"Oh
on
yeah, I
me.
was lying."
That's my
And
next
he was
one.
like, "What the fuck?" It like cost him another deal with Capital. Like, so when
Did you say Chingy?
So I'm saying is once Sydney Star said that with Chingy, she just said it, and he was like, "I didn't what?" And then it cost him like a bunch of deals, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm lying." And everyone was like, "What the fuck? That's like fucked up." So I was just curious if they were together. If you said that, other than two individual pictures collaged together, is there any proof?
I got really upset for a minute, but I actually had Chingy mixed up with Mystical, so Chingy's fine. It's
Yeah, they're different.
they are definitely different.
You're lucky I didn't get I got the poo on me joke, because that was my next one.
You're just waiting to pop that off, huh?
God,
Oh, you
damn it, I swear to God. So what do we do with this news? Like, what is like? Should I not have said anything? Is this inappropriate? Because I find that there's been numerous cases with rappers either hooking up or getting involved romantically with transgender girls, and they 100% of the time deny. Dwight Howard of the NBA had a relation with a trans girl. Okay. One thing led to another, and he got Brian. What's the political correct way to say "fucked in the ass"? What's
Sodomized.
yeah? So he was voluntarily sodomized, and he
I
had
think
a
sodomize is more of the victim. If you say it, you feel it, right, like
consensual butt sex between him and a trans.
that is the legal term. I've seen that before.
Wait a minute.
Actually, I'm gonna name my new punk band "Consensual Butt Sex."
Wait a minute.
Damn, that is a fire band name.
She sodomized him?
I guess this is a
Dwight Howard got
situation
sodomized?
we're talking
But I
about.
think
So Dwight Howard got effed in the B, and he had a gluteal injury and was out for numerous months because of this. He is
I
also
never heard
highly.
this at all.
So he got a blowout?
Look it up right now because I'm not making it up. If you want to hear my lies, I got a bunch of stories about prawns. I'll tell you in an hour. But he was out for months with this injury, and the thing about Dwight is he's very religious. So when he had a child out of wedlock, he like went into hiding. Imagine what he did when it got out that he is injured from having gay sex. So
I mean, if that's true, if that is true, that is wild. I've never heard that, but if that is true, that is wild. That is
He's
wild.
also an anti-vaxxer, according to Wikipedia. Dwight Howard is. So I don't know.
Is that the first thing that comes up when you?
Oh, that's
look
weird.
it
He
up?
doesn't like getting pricked with needles, but he likes getting.
I mean, if we can tone this to like some serious tone for like a hot second, it has to do with street cred, in my opinion. Like what the please believe me, the Chappelle joke. I didn't do it. Please believe me. Like it's got to be that, right? I mean, and let's be real. Even in 2021, people are still weird about it. Like, hey, bro, so you like stuff in the butt, Dwight? I ain't mad, dude. Like, cool, do your thing, boo boo.
I don't
whatever.
care how much you take in the butt,
household.
as long as you can rebound, and I don't care what you do in your butt.
Right? Isn't that? Yeah, I don't care at all. But I was probably like on a realistic point. Wouldn't it be as probably, especially being in the South where there's a whole bunch of, and Atlanta's the #1 gay city in America. And
what?
Atlanta
is?
Jamie, is that true?
Google it.
I'll
Google it if you Google Dwight Howard's butt.
I'll
Google both right now.
What I'm saying is like, because it's the Bible Belt, I feel like it's got to be just like this overtone with the family. But honestly, in 2021, it's like the perfect time. If you're gay, right now would be the perfect time to live your truth, right? I feel like it's got to be some.
As far as like the
growing
general
up.
public being more accepting, yeah. But if
not
like you
1930s.
said, if you have a family that disagrees with that lifestyle,
that's what I'm saying. It's got to be.
There's
like
no way around
it,
man.
I know.
It's wild.
Also, on a real serious tip, if anyone's listening, my heart goes out to you if you're having trouble coming out of the closet, because it's got to be the hardest thing in the world. On another real serious tip, like, and 2021, like, live your truth, and
there you go.
That's got to be like a devastating burden to have. You know what I mean?
To have an identity crisis of any kind would be unimaginable. Like I couldn't imagine going through that. But you're right. People are more accepting now that if you were to come out, I think it's more likely your friends will congratulate you and support you.
Or just more socially acceptable than the pressures that people were going through in the 70s, 80s, 60s.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying.
Light years better.
Not saying that I mean,
even in the 90s, even in the 90s, we were ignorant, bro. I mean, saying that homophobic slur with the F word was like commonplace back then.
It's like cultural context. Like, I was having that same conversation the other day. Like, clearly I didn't mean when I was saying stuff like that as a youth, like, I didn't mean gay people. It was just so acceptable, the slurs. And then in retrospect, and then I'm like,
gay, dude.
And then, like, that's what I mean. And then in retrospect, I'm like, oh, wow, like, we took, like, something and made it completely different than actual, like, gay people.
It's like,
but
on
it was
one
still
hand,
harmful when you look at it now.
We changed what that word meant, because I, as a stupid kid, I never used that as a homophobic slur. But
me neither.
You can't say that word isn't homophobic. And
right.
We've all said, "Oh, I don't like that game. That's gay," or "That kid's gay." I remember the first time someone called me the F word, the homophobic slur. I'd never heard it before. I was so confused. I was like, I'm not black." And then realized how fucking stupid and ignorant I was for that, because I also I wasn't using the N word back then either. Like,
oh my god,
not that we use it now, but
what I'm saying is, I think cultural context is like Charlemagne the God always says something really good. It's like, you're not going to retroactively give someone a speeding ticket for when you were speeding and they changed. We're all learning too. And I obviously used it as a kid. I've even said it in songs and raps as a kid, but clearly we've all grown from that. And we don't even use that. But I can't don't get mad at me for something it's cultural context. You can't retroactively give me a speeding ticket when they changed the speeding limit 20 years ago.
If you were going into the NFL draft, we would have taken a magnifying glass to your Twitter and Facebook.
That's what I'm saying.
And those songs, and you would be retroactively apologizing for shit you did 15 years ago.
Absolutely.
That's what's the worst about cancel culture, is we're all coming after people for shit they did, you know. And granted,
it's never really about atonement. It's about wanting to control that person.
Exactly.
It's just about crucifying and then taking them off. But what if I just did say, I really am fucking so sorry, and clearly I didn't mean at 15 that, but there's never ever someone saying, well, that makes sense, so you're forgiven. But it's never, you never hear the other end of it. It's just the talons in them about what you did as a child or 15. But we're all growing too. I would like to think I'm not the same person at 15, because then I'd be like I would be living life wrong. I would be progressing.
An idiot.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if how you were at 15 is exactly how you are now. Well, then that's the fucking problem.
I think at 15, I thought titties were the shit, and now I know ass is where it's at. So, I mean, I was just so backwards, dude.
Yeah, all messed up.
I've said things that I regret. Like you said, I've made songs with words and shit in them that I wouldn't say now, and it is shitty. I think, people are definitely having to go back and apologize.
If we openly say, oh, that is clearly not what I meant, and clearly I don't stand by how I was at 20 and I'm 30, you know what I mean? Like, you should be able to say, I do apologize, but I mean, are we going to go through everything and like start taking down these people are fucking driving Fords, and I'm going to say they're anti-Semitic because Henry Ford is anti-Semitic, and you have
my God.
So you could, it's a slippery slope where do you draw the line? Like, you know what I mean? No one's ever just completely like pristine.
Twitter will definitely go after you for shit you said in 2010 for sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, but is anyone ever going to be able to come and say, hey, yeah, of course I'm not the same person I said.
No one accepts apologies anymore.
That's wild.
I mean, maybe amongst friends, but if you were to be crucified on the internet for something, or God forbid you try to come out in front of it, like you said, I knew at 15 I wasn't a great person. And if you say like, I'm sorry for the person I was at 15, there's not going to be anyone that comes up and says, you know what, you're forgiven, you're a cool dude,
that's
fine.
The point, right? That's the point, is there's never anyone who's just
forgiveness is not the point of it. The only point in cancel culture is, yes, it is crucifixion. It is not forgive and forget. It is crucify and remember and move on to the next and crucify them and do rinse, repeat. It never ends.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think, like, studying that and studying the trend of whatever is cancel culture, from the outside looking in and like looking at it, do you think they'll ever just run out of shit and then they haven't looked at themselves in the mirror, or where it's just such a slippery slope? Do you think it's going to hit a peak eventually? It's got to hit a peak, right?
I definitely think it'll hit a peak. I think the peak is around the corner. I think all of this grew exponentially worse because of the pandemic, because people are home. If you're 20 something years old, you're stuck at home during the pandemic, you are a fan of all the bands that we talk about and cover, you can't go see them live. You eventually get pissed off and start canceling them one by one over your Twitter account. I've seen it happen. I mean, we're canceling bands for anything now. I mean, the stories are ridiculous. Like, there's a few times I've read stories and it's like, okay, that connects. I don't like that band anymore. There's other times I read it and go, okay, you're really reaching for something it's strange. I think that, like, I have a problem with cancel culture because personally, I think if you're a stupid person, you should be punished for it for some reason. Like, you made a bad decision and that's stupid. What's the point of it? Like, there's no point in punishing random people for making mistakes, bad decisions, or just overall being dumb. I'm not going to get anything out of it.
But do you think
where's the culture of like, hey, let's help this person grow?
That's what I'm saying.
No one wants to help each other.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think it's because they're not friends with them? So say your mom, your sister, your brother said something crazy. You got in a huge fight, but then they said they're sorry, and then you move on. Do you think it's because they don't personally know these people? And
they might be more willing to work with them, but they still want to crucify that person. That would be like permanent hate. Yeah.
This screen, I will fuck anybody up on the opposite side of the screen. I'll say that, right? But that's just the mentality. Like, we all got Cheeto fingers. We're all sitting in our fucking basement.
No, you're
and
right. You're
I
right.
do believe cancel culture existed far beyond the pandemic. But
it's just tribalism, and it's almost like Lord of
and
the
it's
Flies,
media
where
too.
it's just
Media's fucked, bro. Media's fucked,
I
especially at the major. And I'm going to communicate my major communications. Like, I'm going into all that right now. Perfect. And so media, especially on the mainstream level, like, you can't go to any outlet or any mainstream, like, little media. I'm blurry. Okay, there we go. Any real mainstream media outlet without having some sort of like bias or some sort of slant towards a certain thing. And unfortunately, for the people that are just behind their phones for Twitter under the 240 characters, however much it is, they take that as like an acceptance to, oh, I can jump on people too. I can call people out. And then, yeah, you're right. Tribalism. They are in certain groups, you know, oh, I want to fit in. I want to be connected with people. So I'm going to share the same opinions, but it comes down to not forming your own opinion. Like, how many people can really sit there? You know, Tony Hinchcliffe, he's being canceled right now because he did a set here in Austin and went fucking hard on, and listen, bad jokes, bro. You didn't have good jokes. They weren't good jokes.
I mean, did you listen to Andrew Schultz's dissection of it? And I thought it was great.
I did not. What did he say?
Well, he was just saying, like, we all make bad jokes. It's like, actually being a comedian is 9 times out of 10. It's always going to be bad until you get the one. Unfortunately, the way it was, like, if you were actually offended, you should have hit him up. That's like his opener. You should have just hit him up, but don't put it on, it's almost just like my demo of a song being crucified at the Grammys. Like, this isn't good. And it's like, yeah, I know. I haven't worked this I'm allowed to throw bad shit because, and then the way Andrew, I'm not a comedian, but I'm friends with a lot of comedians and I love comedy. And so it's kind of a similar thing with music. But with them recording you while doing stuff in a room where you think you're in a safe spot, there's 50 people in this room. I could fuck up. I mean, I've done some fucking horrible shows. But thank God no one just put it out there and like, Kyle Lucas sucks live. You know what I mean? But because you haven't seen, I got to work shit out too. And again, I'm not even trying to like stick up for Tony Hinchcliffe, but it's like this weird thing where it's like, I feel like comedy is like, you can kind of tell it was way different than like the Kramer situation.
Bro,
that's like hate.
Oh, you know, the Kramer situation.
He's the new Michael, whatever his name is, and it's like, bro, shut up. And like, I'll admit, I went in and was like, man, Tony, that was fucking
fucked up.
A little fucked up, bro. Especially to this guy that, you know, if you listen to the Asian Gentleman set, he was very
Asian Gentleman. Find his name, goddammit.
It's like it was Pang. Yeah, it's Pang Ling or something like that.
Yeah.
That's racist.
Oh, that's racist.
But like, no, that's racist.
Yeah,
Bill Rose has a good point.
We don't have
The
to
weekly
fucking
cancel culture discussion taking over the podcast once again.
But here's
Well,
the
it's either
thing is,
cancel
I'm not
culture
a
or
stand-up
wrestling.
but it's a crazy thing
We're all
because
retards,
I'm not a
so
stand-up
weird.
comedian, right? Like but it's
Exactly.
this weird thing where I want comedy to live, at least where don't touch comedy, at least to me. Like I want you to be able to fuck up and say crazy shit.
Thank you. And
If Dave Chappelle started being censored and he censored himself because he's like, this is my set that it would break my heart. You know what I mean? Like,
Comedy is dead. It won't survive 2021 by the end of the year.
That's the
Look,
thing.
Chris Rock is in a Saw movie. If you need any more proof that comedy is dead, go to the theater right now.
Is that Ed? Did you watch it?
No, but I want to see.
My mom won't let me.
Did you see him in Fargo though? He did great.
Oh yeah. Kyle, I also have a podcast where we talk about deep shit like cancel culture. Maybe
I should. Yeah, you didn't pay for advertising this week, so what am I supposed to do with that?
I gotta slide in somehow, bro. You know, I can't just use Skags as my.
Remember what we were talking
if you
about?
Bring up Skags will get you out any ticket. Just bring up Skaggs. You get pulled over. They're like, Skaggs.
Every
knows
girl
everything.
I've ever talked to in the past 2.5 years, I've used Michael Skaggs' name. Because I don't have long hair, but he does.
Tony Hinchcliffe should talk to Skaggs and see if he can get him out of this rut he's in.
He should have brought up Skaggs.
Who is Tony Hinchcliffe? Is he like a fighter or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, let's go.
So I have a couple things on the news docket. We're probably already over time. So if these sound lame, I want you to tell me to skip it.
Pass or smash. Here we're doing pass or smash. Let's go.
Yeah, smash or pass. Nicki Minaj returns.
Pass.
All right, we're passing. Jay-Z is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Smash.
Let's talk about that.
Smash. Okay,
Incredible.
so Jay-Z is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Iron Maiden is not. Kiss, everyone's favorite granddad rockers, Kiss, have come out to the defense of Iron Maiden and said the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a sham not to include Maiden. Disgusting. To top things off, Rage Against the Machine have not gotten in. If you don't know who that is, ask your cool cousin for a sample. The class of 2021 includes the Foo Fighters, the Go-Go's, Jay-Z, Carole King, Todd Rundgren, and Tina Turner. Now, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame CEO said, quote, "It's an interesting one because we do in regards to liking metal. We celebrate all forms of rock and roll. They were nominated. We nominated Maiden. Judas Priest have been nominated. We put Def Leppard in. Those that are nominated, over 80% of them eventually do get inducted. So it's really a question of let's keep nominating them. Let's get them on the ballot and let's get it out to the voting body. This ballot had 16 artists on it. They can't all just go in. So is it a travesty that LL Cool J is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and not Iron Maiden?
Yo,
Not
honestly,
only
I'm probably the wrong person to talk to. I can't tell you one. What's an Iron Maiden song? I don't know. So I know a LL Cool J song and a Jay-Z song way before Iron Maiden. No disrespect to them, but I mean, like you said,
all that Iron Maiden influence I heard in your music. I'm so confused now.
I mean, I don't feel like but like they'll just keep nominating them, and eventually someone's got to not be as. You're crazy if you think that Iron Maiden, as far as like pop or rock and roll culture. I think if you hold on to that term of rock and roll, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. But as far as I think it now is music Hall of Fame, right? It's more like American music. It
is music, but it's been branded as
right,
rock and roll because they're gonna say some shit like, "Well, rock and roll is an attitude, not a genre."
Yeah. Well, that's the same way Oasis was pissed at Hov for fucking covering that.
Foo Fighters deserves it. Foo Fighters for sure deserves it.
100%.
No one's gonna argue about the Foo Fighters.
Side note: not only was LL Cool J given the music, what was it?
I only know of this podcast because of Skaggs. See, already helping me with the women. Thanks, Mike. Love you, buddy. Imposter Syndrome 2 is out now. Go straight immediately.
Yeah. I wrote on the last song. I helped work on that song with my girlfriend. Shouts
and I didn't hear you singing on it, but I just knew that was a Kyle Lucas song.
I'm a songwriter, baby, too, so I write like songs with people.
I'm totally lying, but it is a good song.
Isn't it great?
It's a good EP, yeah.
LL Cool J's lips were also inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the Lifetime Moisturizer Award.
Is that racist? Can we
Lifetime Moisturizer Award. That's a great joke. That's a great joke, dude. Don't even.
Did you know after 2 L's I'm cool like James Todd Smith? I'll see my.
Okay. Yep. All right. Well, when we don't use real names here. It's only pseudonyms. So bringing in.
Oh, did I just break the fourth wall? So basically, we talked about this a couple weeks ago when The Weeknd was beefing with the Grammys, and I would loop in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with it. Are award shows and Hall of Fames a big fucking scam?
Of course.
I mean, I just feel like I used to care a lot more than I do now. It might be my age, but do you feel the same? Like when I was a kid, I cared, but now I just don't.
Hey, when the Academy Awards pull the lowest viewership they have in like 5 decades,
everyone feels the same way as me.
Everybody's got to feel that same way. And listen,
I do, but Brian won't shut up for me to get my turn.
If there's first of all, I've been skipped several times. Second of all, I think as we were just talking about how media is influencing things and we're in front of our phones all the time and people are getting fed all this stuff, it is no doubt people are seeing behind the curtain. So to speak,
no doubt, I've heard political.
Of that. Also, not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, what?
I'd be shocked if they might be though. That might be one of those weird things where you're like, oh fuck,
no
doubt
in the Rock and Roll.
It's Sublime. So if Sublime's got to be right.
Okay, first of all, listen here. Okay, Kyle. Sublime should be, but without Rome's punk ass, and let me tell you why. Rome came through Austin.
I love Rome. Don't talk
Rome
shit
came.
about
I bet you
Don't
do.
talk shit about
Rome came through Austin like 2 months ago and was charging $800 a table for him and the dudes from fucking, I don't even know what the other dude's name was from the other band.
You better resurrect Bradley and parade him around that entire bar if you want me to buy anything.
$800 to
That is
see
bizarre.
you.
Like that is abnormal. Like Jay-Z wouldn't do some shit like that. Is wild.
Hove
right?
wouldn't do it. It's
Hove
the
would
Rock,
not do that.
bitch.
It's the Rock, bitch.
And it's 2021. Give me a Brad Noel hologram and let's call it a day. I already know all the Sublime songs.
What's the
Rome. I don't
dog's
need you
name?
singing.
For what?
Spot? No.
Blue Dog?
Blue Dog. Give me a Blue Dog hologram with him.
Damn. I wonder if Blue Dog is like if there's ashes or if he's like taxidermied right now because he's so famous. That dog.
It's one of the two.
Videos.
I'll tell you
what
that.
do you think? Like they didn't just bury Lou Dog from.
No.
He's so famous with Sublime. Someone got him taxidermied, or they have his action.
I would also say the same thing. If that reggae band Stick Figure, they have the most popular dog in any band going right now. When that dog, and God forbid, when that dog passes, that will be the most famous fucking band dog ever.
Oh, it's gonna pass. It's gonna pass, unfortunately, and no doubt, not the band, not the band, but the dog.
Just like Shadow, or what, Brian?
Hey, bro, I'm not
too soon.
Hey, bro,
too
soon.
Move
me, bro.
Oh man, I should not have done that. Oh, that was not cool.
RIP to Lou Dog, because I'm only saying RIP because numerically he's got to be gone.
Oh, he's dead. He's dead for
Yeah,
sure.
he's got to be gone.
All dogs
be
go to
gone.
heaven,
Just
sir,
like
and that dog is in
survivors.
heaven. That dog is in heaven. No, you know what they probably did? They probably had him cremated and then smoked his ashes, because that's what I would do.
Oh,
because Brad passed before, so I guarantee, and his wife owns.
Oh, they probably did that for Brad too.
Sublime went wrong. So I'm guaranteeing you is his wife, because she owns Sublime, and then I guarantee you she. But I just kind of want it to be fucked up as like she has a taxiderm in her living room. Like I kind of want it to be weird, like on some like base motel type shit.
Weirder if she had Bradley taxidermed in her living room.
Yeah, that would be. He's just sitting there when you walk in the house.
Belt on the arm or no?
Oh man. Okay, and other
Bradley.
in other bad news, Andrew WK, everyone's favorite party rocker, Andrew WK, is now engaged to Kat Dennings. What the fuck, man? I legitimately thought I had a chance. I only needed a year or two before I could get out to New York and really hit it off with her.
Get it with him?
And then now he's all locked up with her. Like, dude, you're gonna lock it down. I mean, Kat Dennings is beautiful. She's thick in the right places, and you done took her away from me. I hate you.
Oh, the chick from the New Girl? What? Since when?
It's the chick from Two Broke Girls. What's wrong with you?
Two broke girls. That's what I meant. Yeah.
But here's the thing: is I do get how you would get them confused because they have the same kind of like acting. They look kind of with the brown hair. They look kind of similar. That's wild. But I would have never like Andrew W. But it's only because he's older now. Because she would never be like in his Andrew WK days be about that.
Well, see, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, there's no way that she's just like, oh, Andrew WK as a person. Bitch, you know you love his music. What song did it for her?
Do you think it's probably they met though. He was on Warped Tour and he was like super nice.
Oh yeah, he's a nice dude.
She probably didn't even know his music. I doubt she even knew his music. I want to believe
she
in love,
seems
so don't
really
tell me.
hip. She seems cool as fuck. She probably like definitely was given.
Hold up.
She was passing out blowjobs to Andrew WK music in middle school.
Hold up. Most definitely, because listen to this. It was announced on May 6th that they were married. The two met earlier this year.
Hey, if I met Kat Denning earlier this year, I'd be marrying her.
Is there any more details?
She's beautiful.
Vanity Fair noted that Dennings has been a Andrew WK fan for many years, finding tweets that date back to 2014. Though, first of all, Andrew WK was like washed up in 2014.
Yeah,
so
wait, never mind. Wait, 2000. Yeah, I'm thinking like in the. Wait, that doesn't count.
Nah.
You just knew who he was.
Here, yeah. Come on, dude. Come on. But I mean, yeah, whatever, dude. She's hot. She can marry whoever.
Good for her. Good for her. Yeah. Good for him, though. Good for him. Honestly,
that's what it's. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, I was like, good for him. At this point in his life, good for him. Good for him.
Can we have a round of applause?
I'm just bitter. I'm just bitter. She's a beautiful woman, and I'm just bitter.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
I mean, it won't last. It won't last. You got a shot. You got a shot. You got a shot.
Hey, Kyle, all you got to do is drop Skaggs' name and fucking slide into them DMs.
No, not me.
Skaggs. Why do you mean?
Give me 5 minutes with Kat Denning, and I'm gonna drop so many Skaggs references. She's gonna be like, "Look, imposter syndrome was cool, but like, I'm not gonna date you."
You know Michael Skaggs? Let's go.
There's nothing that makes me drop my panties quicker than outline and color. Dude, he's gonna go on tour and be like, I don't understand why all these women hate me now. Like, we used to be loved. It's cause of me, bro.
You single-handedly just trash his like reputation, just constantly talking.
I've done it before. Sorry, can
we cancel Andrew WK so she divorces him and then like gets with one of us or what?
I'm on it. I'm on
it.
Because if I don't get her, I at least want the other girl from Two Broke Girls. Because Lord knows I'm marrying a broke girl. In other news. Gum subscription services. Have we gone too far?
Pass.
Yeah, that's stupid, right? That's stupid. Who
I have no opinion.
That?
Hey,
I have an opinion. It makes me angry.
As long as the Orbit girl's showing up to deliver the packages, then
shoot Orbit, and I'll suck your dick off.
Oh, whoa!
But now think about that though, because you think
you need the gum after you do that, you filthy mouth whore.
What wasn't that like that's the last kind of vibe with gum? Like that was 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like
gum hasn't been popular.
I was about to say like those I do remember those, and then I remember the double mint, but that was like decades ago. I don't know why I'm thinking it was like last year. Like no one's talked about gum in a while.
Imagine how convenient it is when you get like those meal plans sent to your house. Like, oh, I could just pop this in the microwave or the oven and cook it and good to go. Yeah, Blue Apron, Simply, all that shit. They don't pay us, so we're not going to mention them by name. So scratch that out.
Not yet. Don't write that off.
But I'm hoping that Schlitz Malt Liquor wants to get on board.
We don't need healthy, Kyle.
You want some
sweat?
Yeah, we don't need.
We don't need Fago sponsorships.
I'm still waiting for that Schwann's
sponsorship. I'm down with the Juggalos. Let's do a play. What if you guys are just only sponsored by Fago?
I'll take it.
My lawyers have actually advised me not to speak negatively on Fago since I had that assault charge against it. You know what? Just never mind. Brian, they're making a Death Clock movie. How hard is your dick right now?
Yeah, Metalocalypse actually is what it's called. So they're making a Metalocalypse movie. I'm super excited about it. They actually announced that they were doing Metalocalypse, Venture Bros, and another Aqua Teen movie.
Okay, we don't need another Aqua Teen movie, but I will take a Venture Bros movie.
I didn't know that though.
All three of them. Yeah, Adult Swim's helping with all three of them.
Kyle's about to go to William Street right now and party.
So I had to walk down to Turner. I didn't know Adult Swim was popping like that. I'm just waiting for Rick.
Oh, they're
Morty,
not.
So.
No, they're not. Yeah.
That's
I have Kanye news.
That's all I want.
Kanye news. I have
Kanye. We have Kanye news. Oh, yes. Shit.
So the writers of Rick and Morty have said that the Kanye episode is coming. Yes, they are going to do another episode featuring Kanye. That's going to be super exciting. Also, Future. Yeah, well, he was like briefly in an episode where they
if
like
just Metro don't trust you.
But there's going to be an episode completely dedicated to Kanye, which is going to be pretty cool.
Did you say there's a Future episode?
No, Future. Well, yeah, there is a Future episode, but
with rapper Future.
No, Kanye. Period.
Is he? Is he
New
in the
story.
episode? Is he voicing? Is he in the episode?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a huge fan. Yeah, he's gonna do the voice and everything.
Well,
Yeah.
that's fucking.
I mean,
fire.
How else do you rebound from Kim leaving you? You know, you got to be on Rick and Morty, only the hottest show of all time. Future.
Seriously.
New story. Future posted briefly before he deleted it a picture of him. And supposedly Travis Scott and Kanye West, they were all masked up, and apparently they're writing music together, which is fucking bonkers. But
it's
then they
legitimately them. Now,
they
do you just want a song from them, or are you like me and you want a whole fucking album?
Album, baby. And let's go, Kids See Ghost style. Fucking bring everybody in. Let's fucking have a whole album. 8, 10, 12, 22 tracks. Doesn't fucking matter.
Here's a hot take. In today's modern age of hip-hop, does Future have the best collaboration albums? Juice WRLD, Drake, Uzi Vert.
He has albums with all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel there's like way hotter ones that dropped, right? Or am I just not thinking?
I mean, who's collabed with another rapper for a whole album?
Like collab albums? Right. I mean, my favorite is
two vocalists.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, shit. Maybe you're right. Fuck, I haven't even thought about that.
Because he's one of the few dudes who will say, yeah, I'll do that. You know, give me a fucking gallon of lean and he'll jump on the song with you. I'm not the biggest Juice WRLD fan, but I know people like World on Drugs, the Juice WRLD collab album. The collab album with Drake went over pretty well. And the latest one with Lil Uzi Vert.
That was like a huge moment. Wasn't that one with Drake? That was a huge moment.
That was a big record. I think the one with Uzi Vert might be the best because of their styles combining Baby Pluto. That shit's fire.
So what? You don't like Juice WRLD?
I never got into Juice WRLD.
Way talented, more talented than these people that you don't like, though. I'm saying
I would rather listen to Juice WRLD than j.cole, and I love mumble rap and I love autotune, but I don't like his.
Well, he's not. I wouldn't even say Juice WRLD was a mumble rapper at all.
He maybe not the mumble so much, but he raps with an autotune a lot, and I don't like his style of autotune because I love it on other rappers, but his is always annoying to me. I found that like the young generation, like high school kids, really like Juice WRLD. People that are older than that have a similar opinion to me on him. I mean, your album's called World on Drugs, and all your verses are about doing drugs, and then you eat a handful of pills and die.
I mean, you're talking to the wrong rapper. I have a song called Red Wine and Xanax. I have like Percocet 10s is my like.
Don't die off Red Wine and Xanax because they will judge you.
They'll be like, no, we saw that shit coming. That song was like 10 years old.
Hey, dude. Hey, listen. Do we got to go to therapy sesh? Listen, Kyle.
No, trust me, I'm fine. But what I'm saying is that
that's what they all say, Kyle.
No, you know what?
That's what they all say.
You actually look real. I really appreciate the actual, like, you were like, are you okay? Sit down,
dude.
Let's talk.
I got energy healed.
We were talking shit for a while, but let's actually like unpack and layer this. I appreciate
We've been trying to have an intervention on this show for a while now.
No, unfortunately,
you guys just keep doing it to each other and just canceling each other's screens. You're like,
no, I tried to get Brian hooked on drugs so I could get him clean, but he won't fucking take the bait. He's a coward.
Yeah, dude.
It's like Always Sunny. Intervention.
Brian, put this pill up your butt. I'm not putting anything up your butt that's.
I don't want to end up like Dwight Howard over here and have piriformis, okay? I don't
4 months he was on the bench, bro. 4 months, and he couldn't even sit on the bench. So think about that.
Is there any confirmation in that? Because I feel like it's so wild I would have heard that.
It's called piriformis. Well, listen, he had piriformis.
It's called he had a gluteal injury, and you fill in the blanks and believe whatever you want.
I was about to say, you can't just vocally say because he was hiding his transgender relationship, but he was for 4 months on the bench because of that. Like that
legitimately,
is like, I feel like I would have heard that, right?
It's called piriformis.
I mean, Dwight Howard's not the most popular player on the court now.
Yeah, piriformis. It's a legitimate gluteal, I guess you'll say, injury. It has to do with a muscle that's inside your butt, and it can send excruciating pains up your back.
So maybe I'm fucking wrong. Maybe you guys are like that is. But that's wild, though. That is a wild thing. For 4 months? For 4 months?
It was almost the entire season. It derailed his whole season.
They actually
not last season, the season before that.
They actually have footage of him still going to the practices, but he's laying on a massage table, belly down.
Wow.
I spent 3.5 years in sports radio before I ever decided to talk about a core band.
You're just like, that's fake.
The massage table's fake.
Yeah, don't
Brian,
say that
Brian's
because
full
you're
of
so
shit.
convincing.
This shit's
You're so
real.
convincing, and I'm like, oh wow, what the fuck?
Bet you
That's
thought I
fake.
really cared about you and your suicidal thoughts, huh? Just kidding.
Wow.
Dude, you got
Wow.
I do.
Have you ever thought about acting? It's really hard, and you're.
I'm doing it
great at
right now. I'm doing it right now.
You're like, I don't even want to fucking be here.
Every week he acts like he's interested in this shit. Well, there's nothing like a basketball player, getting sodomized to transition into the interview portion of this podcast.
I got the best question to start it. Especially
right.
since we're talking about basketball
All right,
players getting
please
sodomized.
be his favorite form of
Here we
sodomy.
go.
Please be his
Here we
favorite
go.
form of
Let me
sodomy.
see. Let me see your transition.
What was the name of the song title that Drake stole?
Madonna.
Was it really?
Oh!
You actually had a name. You didn't just name it. Drake stole the song
it would
title?
have a name.
You actually had a title for it, and he took it.
Well, no, he didn't
Wow.
take it. I was on tour with On Cue, but
Right.
it was right when that album. You remember
He
when that album
used it.
dropped out of nowhere?
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like every song was the biggest thing, and this is my
Yeah.
debut album. So
Yeah.
I worked 2 years on it. I
Oh
got
no.
William Beckett. I got Chino XL. I put
Whoa!
it
Shouts
was
to
suppo-
Chino XL.
Yeah.
It was
Not
supposed to
a
be my
name you
only
hear often.
my only effort, right? So I was supposed to just go back to school. So I did 1 to 14 songs, but it took 2 years. And then right when I'm about to drop it, he drops Madonna, and I'm like,
Oh, dude, I
That's
thought
like
you were
the
just
fuck.
being clever and putting that in there, but you actually were gonna name it Madonna, and he
because if you
stole
listen
it.
to the hook,
Oh,
she
hey,
just want to live like Madonna in the 80s.
yep.
It was
You
just
heard
supposed to
it-
be Madonna, but then Drake's also like Michael Jackson status. So I'm like, oh, well, I can't just, I mean,
Hey, well, you heard it here first. He stole that shit from you, and I don't appreciate it. So
I don't
Drake,
either, man.
Drake went from being in a shithole on my list to the shittiest hole on my list. Dwight Howard,
Fuck
okay?
yeah.
Wow.
It's like Dwight Howard, Drake.
Yeah,
It's like
all right.
Drake all the way up Dwight Howard's ass.
Dwight Howard's asshole, Drake, right here. Like it's Dwight Howard's transgender girlfriend, Dwight Howard's asshole, Drake.
Drake.
That's
Oh my god.
From
It's
some
cool.
like obscure song title from some guy he's never heard of. I'm like, you're right there, Drake.
Hey,
I see
we
you,
don't
Aubrey.
know that. We
I
don't
see
know
you,
that for
Aubrey.
a fact.
Aubrey. Hey, I know you only got a
Mr.
gat.
Graham.
I know you
Yeah.
only got a gat in Degrassi, but you about to get
Yeah,
another.
damn, who's Drake? Where's Wheelchair Jimmy at?
Oh my god.
Damn, do you remember when he got
oh,
shot? Did you
I do.
watch Degrassi?
I
Do you
totally
He
remember
did,
that
I did.
episode?
Dude,
That was like
I've
deep.
only seen that.
Shot Jimmy.
Do you remember when JT died?
He
I
got
was thinking about-
stabbed.
Fucking stabbed. I was like, this is like really serious.
It wasn't as sad as when my friend in real life got stabbed and killed, but it was still a sad sitcom.
It was like a close second.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. RP to your home.
No,
I'm lying.
no.
I'm
Fuck
lying.
his homie. Fuck his homie.
Fuck my made up homie. I just made that story up. It's cool that you brought up Chino XL because in the same kind of way I met you, I randomly met Chino XL and he was super cool.
Tell me your story. I want to hear.
Dude, I worked in radio. They said Chino XL's out in the lobby. I said, nuh-uh. They said he's right there. And I walked up and I said, Chino, what's up? Poison Pen is my shit.
That changed my life, that album.
Bro, he was like, I'm used to rappers saying, fuck you. And he was just like, yeah, thanks a lot, man. What's your name? What do you do here? Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. And like, he didn't need to talk to me for shit. But I equate it
That's
to
who
like
he is, though.
the same thing with you. I met you in Atlanta on tour with Dance Gavin Dance, my first tour ever, probably my worst tour ever. And I sat down with you and I was like, dude, this guy Kyle Lucas that I've heard on all these songs is talking with me. I don't know why. I'm just a driver, there ain't no reason to sit down, but you were super cool. You were humble as shit, and you had a super interesting story that like captivated me.
Yeah.
You were telling me that your musical career, I don't know if like started or kicked off is the right word, but kind of blew up when you got signed by Outkast. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
Like, how
But,
does that happen?
Let me go into that before, but I want to talk. I want to just give Chino his roses before because I love.
Chino!
It's rare.
I love that you said I want to give him his roses.
Yeah,
That's
while he's
dope.
still here. I mean, no. Well, I mean, he is like. I just feel he doesn't get spoken about a lot. And
He's
doesn't
on
get the
everyone's
credit.
underrated list.
That's what I'm saying, and he shouldn't be. So, like, all I'm saying is, before you say that, I love that you met him, and he was such a because he is such like a nice guy, but he's also Poison Pen. Single-handedly, I was like 14 or 15 when it came out, and it was when I was okay. So I started rapping in 3rd grade, and you're just a kid. But then, you know, those albums that hit you when you're in, like, what am I gonna, you know, when you're 14, 15, those crucial years.
You're super impressionable.
And it's your music. It's not your parents' music. You kind of, you know, you take, it's like, exactly, but you're like obsessed with it, right? So it's like that, those albums, it's more, it doesn't even matter the quality at this point. It's the chronological point in your life that those albums were there for you. And that Chino XL, Poison Pen, change, it made me want to rhyme, and it made me, cause it wasn't like, you know, I was like a white rapper when white rappers like weren't cool. So it was like, it was hard. So it was like
same, bro.
I was gonna say Matt too.
But it was like,
I
to
was
say all
black
that
when it was hard to be black, bro.
But to say that it wasn't like popular and you didn't have a SoundCloud, you know, page with a bunch of face tattoos and some hair, and then you're like a white rapper and everyone's like, but I'm saying because of the content, like he was like an emo rapper, but he didn't make it corny. Like, and also shout outs to Atmosphere, and I'm not even talking shit on all of like Sage Francis, like the emo rap. But if I wasn't Eminem and I have some shitty childhood, or I didn't get shot 9 times like 50, like Bubba Sparks just dropped, but that was like a drop in the pan of, okay, so if you're white in hip hop and you're authentic, but you got to rap about what you're going through, and you know, emo rap hadn't popped at all. It was like Joe Budden was really important to me, Joe Budden's earlier shit, and Chino XL, because it wasn't like corny emo. I'm not just like sitting crying, but I'm talking about other subjects than the traditional hip hop subjects.
Right.
So Chino to me, Poison Pen like changed my life. So to have him on my debut album, he's the only rapper on my debut album. To have him on my album was, and he hit me up. Like, it was so bizarre, and I held back. The album was done, mixed and mastered. There was 13 songs. And then he was like, yo, let me get on your album on Twitter. And I remember I was in LA. And I turned
fucking dope.
And I said, he was like, do you have one more song that with an open verse? And I was like, no, but I can make that shit. So I put I put my whole album back 6 months just to make sure everything, it took him a minute to get it, but I needed my debut album to have Chino XL because my fans don't technically probably know who Chino is, but I want them to know who Chino is. You know what I mean? It's just really important to me.
Chino, like look, let's be real about things. Chino XL is a name that if you weren't following hip hop in 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, in 2021, if you're like the kid who grew up on core music, they definitely don't know who that is. There's rap fans, dudes listening to Lil Wayne right now who don't know who that is because they just don't touch the underground. The underground, man, there's some real good rappers. And I love what you said about the white MC because representation, I think, is important. And rap, if that's something you're into, like I was when I was young, you know, seeing all these people in it, you kind of feel deterred because there's no one that looks or acts like you. And then you start seeing white rappers, whether it be a Bubba Sparks or whoever. For me, besides Eminem, there was a guy named Evidence from Dilated Peoples, and I thought he was the shit. And like there was a few white boys out there that could be serious about rap.
You also saw a lot of them.
Yeah.
You saw them in groups too, right? Like there was a white dude in Swollen Members, wasn't there? There was also Mad Child,
yes.
And so
but it's here. But my point is I'm saying like going to high school, and I'm like covering up that I rhyme with my friends because I know
because you're not confident enough to show the shit.
No, the public will not think that's dope. Like that. Oh, you're just Slim Shady or some shit, and not to take.
You're
away
about
from
to get called the W word.
Dude, I got in a fight with someone. I put him in the hospital because of that shit, and it was very offensive. I mean, but it's all white kids like. But what I'm saying, it doesn't even matter. What I'm saying, all that is that you got to be authentic, and you got to know, you got to really love the art of rhyming. I love emceeing. I love the art of emceeing. Like I know you're talking about Cole. When I saw his freestyle the other night, and the amount of, I go into how many double entendres is this one verse that he do, and I'm like, I'm a nerd to the point where I love the multisyllabic part of it. So, but the girl in doesn't know any, like, what the fuck, you're just like a white rapper, like, you know what I mean? Like, when you're trying to exist at a time when everyone else's opinion of you is really important, you don't have confidence yet. So what I was trying to say is you don't have confidence yet, and you're still just a teen, right? Like, remember how you were as a teen? I'm like making sure my clothes is good. I got acne. I don't want to draw any more attention to yourself than you're supposed to. You want to
I went from never showing anyone a song into like a year or two later wanting to show everyone the song.
You remember how you felt the first time, the first part of that? When you never wanted to. It was like the world would collapse.
It was secretive. It was like, this is for me, because like I can't show other people. I'm rapping over Eminem beats. Like the obvious link is going to be there.
I always said it was like being a rapper in high school was like, so I had all my friends who rhymed with me, but we would come back to my house. I took my bed apart, so I pushed the mattress up, and I would do it on cakewalk. But it was like I always said, because of exactly that, you don't want to talk about it, but you believe in something so hard. It's like a superhero power. It's like a secret thing after school's done, and you're still trying to be cool. You're still trying to fit into life. I mean, shit, you're 13 or 14. That's fucking like a hard time. That is a hard time as a kid. But then you have this thing that if everyone knew, it would be your nightmare. It's just like, hey, rap, dude. You know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, you're a rapper, rap. And it's just like, I just want to develop the craft by myself. But with all my friends who are actually MCs too, but when we went to school, it was like we didn't talk about it. But it's just like a thing. We knew we had to put in our 10,000 hours, Malcolm Gladwell shit. But it's like you didn't want anyone to know at a party, because my biggest thing was, hey, you still rapping, dude? Go ahead and spit for me. No. That's like a comedian saying, tell me a joke, bro.
Do you know who
I hated that. Like, I always pen and pad all the shit, yeah.
Do you know who Wiki is? Kyle? No. Wiki is a New York rapper. He's also white. He's really
we don't all know each other.
On the come up. Hey, well,
we don't have a club.
That's so funny in so many ways. That is funny on like deep layers, though, bro. Like we might get canceled because of how funny that shit was.
Try being the only white rapper on like Warped Tour.
Right. I mean,
I was the only white rapping driver on Warped Tour. That was fun. It's cool.
Damn,
wait, see himself
he drove on Warped Tour, so he was driving.
He's a driver. That's what he does.
Did you drive the vans on the shit we were talking about?
Yeah,
bandwagon.
Yeah. Bandwagons. Yeah.
I mean, that's not much better.
It is when you have a bunch of weed.
But props though, man. That is hard. That is hard.
Thank you, sir. Did that for a little bit. I've definitely traveled cross country and smoked weed in 48 states.
Hey, man. You just got to get to Hawaii and Alaska, and then we'll
been to Hawaii. Haven't smoked weed there.
I hear it's hard to find.
Don't drive the bandwagon trying to get into Hawaii.
No, I have no desire.
There's a tunnel that'll take
shows in Alaska. I just thought of that. Does
Anchorage has shows?
Yes, but they fly in the same way.
I was about to say it's got to be hella destination, right?
Yeah,
like
no one's driving there.
I think there's a festival that Anchorage does like every so often where it's
it's called the Meth Fest.
The Meth Fest. Oh no! Oh no!
Damn,
yeah, meth and heroin is a huge problem up there.
Fucking so does Hawaii, man. They have like a horrible fucking meth problem.
But that meth tastes like pineapples, so that shit's way different.
It's like, I smoke weed out of an apple. You ever smoke meth out of a pineapple?
What's up, bitch?
I think that's a whole different high.
Come to the Big Island, brah. Come to the Big Island.
This is a good time to let everyone know that this episode of I Hate the Scene is brought to you by methamphetamine. And not for anyone under the age of 41. If you were under the age of 41 and not a carpenter, this is not for you.
Dude,
not a carpenter.
I don't know why. It just makes carpenters better. I mean, why do you think Jesus said all those super?
Damn.
Oh man! We just lost that Chick-fil-A sponsorship.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A sponsorship is
Jesus
no
Christos
mas.
was like, "What the fuck is he talking about me?" Nope.
Oh man!
Jesus was like, "What the fuck did he say?"
That was the Lord. That was the Lord booting him, not me.
You ever see that Michael J sketch where he's just like, "Why the fuck would Jesus be a carpenter if he could perform miracles?" He's like, "That's a less impressive trait."
Yeah, it is.
Like that's like a way less impressive trait.
Hey, have you ever tried installing carpet on your house? It's a bitch, bro. You need to perform miracles to get that shit done.
You need to cancel, like, do your screen right now for that joke.
There you go, bro, because that was the worst joke ever. There you go. You know, dude, you know, we were talking about like because I've kicked Matt out of a couple bands. I'm about to kick him off this show completely. I might have to have a guest host, bro. You might have to be my guest host on here. I'm about to take over the podcast. It's gonna go from I hate the
dynamic between y'all though. Like I would just watch this now of you just like fucking canceling over each other.
Oh, bro, that's it. How we started it is he got banned because that's what he does. He gets banned on things. So I was in charge of like the production quality. I was just banning guests, bro. Just banning them. And now it's a thing where like we were on you. You say some whack shit, some bunk shit, you get booted. Sometimes we don't bring you back.
Well, there was that time we had Ellen DeGeneres on and we had to keep booting her because she was, you know, trying to like roofie us.
Yeah. Did you guys hear she's canceling her show?
Yeah, fuck her royally.
Pass
fuck
on
that stupid bitch. I wanted to bring up.
Is QAnon just like their brains are melting? They're like, see, I told you this whole time. Ellen.
Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Fucking kids the whole time. We see is that they're right in our face.
Whoa, bro!
This episode of
QAnon kids are fucking melting down with that Ellen announcement. See, I told you. It was right in our face. I can't talk. I tried to because I was going to do a podcast and I started deeply researching because I do speak.
That's your first problem. Don't ever research when you do a podcast.
Don't do research, bro.
I just can't do it. I was going to do Kyle Lucas Knows Nothing, and it's where I talk to like someone who's a Mormon and then someone who's a Mormon priest, but not even on a funny tip, but I really want to know. Like, I want to know.
I'm already out.
But then it's exhausting. And then the QAnon people, that was going to be my first one, and I do speak like regularly with a lot of Anons, and bro.
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere,
I'm done.
Everyone's got...
Like, how you get sucked in a cult in 2020? We have the internet. How the fuck do you? It's different if it's 1800s and I come to your town and I'm just like, hey, and you have no frame. We have the internet and you get sucked into a cult,
bro. What did we say? Tribalism. Like in a weird, ironic twist, this comes back full circle.
But I hate that because I like to think critical thinking. At least I like to believe my fellow humans have a little more critical thinking skills that they can just say. Because I just poke holes so much, and they're just like, yep, that's the first thing. Let's do it. We believe it. And I'm like, whoa, it's 2020.
Nah,
how do you get sucked in a cult?
People are still boofing alcohol up the butt. Like, you don't know. No, people don't think. They don't think.
That was the frat thing with the tampons, bro. Isn't that whole thing?
Yeah, dude, boofing. Yeah,
dude, could you imagine if you knew someone right now that actively did that, and that's how they ingested drinks?
Oh, I boofed. A couple things.
Yeah, that's the only way my chick drinks. She just goes upside down.
You guys
I
I can't even take you serious. I want to know everything about it, but I'm afraid to even bite. So I'm like, I want to say, tell me all about it. But
hey, if you're afraid, just try it, bro. Just go upside down and pour a little soul into your butt.
Now I'm in a cult, putting shit up my ass.
No.
Call
Dwight Howard. The boofing cult.
My original question didn't really have shit to do with boofing or QAnon.
But now it does.
That's the beautiful part of conversations, though, right?
The art of conversation, and it
always goes back to ass shit.
Ass and shit.
Ass play.
How did you ever link up with Outkast? That is just crazy to me.
Yeah. So I started a band, and when I started my band, it was kind of like I rapped in it. It was gym class.
Vonnegut, right?
Vonnegut.
Yeah. Yep.
So it was the guitar player went to college with Big Boy's little brother. And so, and I want to say it sounds like it's a lot more than that, but it's really not. We got a record deal before we did a show. It was wild. We did a bunch of demos, but at this point though, obviously I had been rhyming and recording like so much.
Were you signed to Purple Ribbon or like,
Purple
Ribbon.
My
God. I didn't want to free lean or what?
What'd you say?
You get like free lean when you sign up or what?
Oh, no, Purple Ribbon's for the dogs. If you're like a pit bull and you get a purple ribbon, it's not because of the drugs.
Oh.
Yeah, you think you think Outkast did lean? I was about to come at you for real quick.
Yo, I listened to that Big Boy Purple Ribbon.
That was way earlier. Bro. Yeah, but a Purple Ribbon is if you Big Boy breeds like award-winning pit bulls and dogs. So if you get
I know Michael Vick did, but I had no idea about Big Boy. I know he had a Chihuahua named Halle Berry that died.
Who? Big
Boy. He had like a small dog.
They got a bunch. He has a bunch of dogs. He has a bunch of dogs. But it used to be Aquemini. So it used to be Aquemini, and it was Dre and Out and Big. They had their own label. That's when they signed Killer Mike and Slim Calhoun. but then Dre kind of walked away from owning the label, so Big took it on himself, and then he signed Bubba, Killer Mike, us, Janelle Monáe, Concrete. There was a bunch of people.
To think that he had Janelle Monáe back then and where she's at now, that's crazy.
That's my kicker. Is like when I was signed for 5 years, and obviously you want to obviously things didn't do the way we wanted to, but I did Letterman with him. I'm trying to say this politically correct. Hold on, let me think. So it's like people want to say, yo, don't ever sign to an artist, right? Like you never want to sign to an artist. But with that being said, there's a reason why he found Killer Mike. There's a reason why he found Janelle Monáe. He has such a thing for ear where he doesn't care about if you have any fans. He gave us a record deal with we'd never played a show. It was off a demo. It was me and the guitar player, and we were making kind of live hip hop, gym class-esque, the Roots type. But he has an ear, and he loves music so much that he's willing to say, oh, I don't give a fuck if you've done anything. I can recognize talent. I think that's like kind of a lost art as far as, especially now running a label, when you're just like, well, how many followers do they have? Well, like he found Janelle Monáe singing backup. I think she was singing backup for Scar or someone, but he just has the ability, because he loves music so much, and he's such a good musician, that he can find the diamonds in the rough, or the needle in the haystack, I guess, off of a demo.
I've definitely heard like you don't want to sign to an artist for one, there's a lot of different stigmas when it comes to the record industry. They're mostly told to people that will never be in the record industry from people who have never signed a deal.
Are the ones that can never, like, I remember I have a major in communications, but I have also a minor in film. So when I got that, and it's just a bunch of failed directors pissed off telling me about like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, well, I see the jadedness in this, so it's always the people who can't do are the first to criticize.
I mean, that's artists in general, though, right? Like, I feel like we were just talking about the artist industry, whether it's music, movies, whatever it is, it's just conniving, man. It's like there's not a community. I mean, I'm sure there is in some regards, but there's not a community of like, hey, man, I really like your music. Maybe I can help you get to somewhere. Maybe you're going to have artists that sign artists and they're going to try to bring them up. But it's a lot of backstabbing too, bro. It's a lot of like,
it's the way you verbalize. Like, you have to. I'm like very calm now, but that was 2 years of therapy once a week. Before I will 100% attest that.
Yeah,
I wasn't like this 5 years ago. But what I'm saying is, you got to be so self-aware that you're welcoming other people's art and stuff. But in the back of most of these people's mind, they're like, "Why the fuck are you ahead of me? I want to do this. I should."
And not be afraid. Not be afraid that it's better than yours. Like, that's the big thing, is I think people are like, oh, it's going to be better than mine, or they're going to get the spotlight and I'm not. Like, okay, absorb some of that. Absorb some of the things that you might think
there's only a little bit of spotlight, so you can't understand. But the beauty now with being able to release music so quick, and the internet has honestly leveled the playing field where there's some stuff for everyone. Yeah, you could be Killer Mike 45 and having the biggest fucking run of your life. And no one's like, you should have stopped rapping because this 18-year-old, there's no age anymore. Griselda,
that's a really good point. Griselda's all old.
Benny the Butcher's
older than me.
I'm 35. Benny's 36. They're all, but it doesn't matter anymore. We don't have to try to be Usher team pop stars. Hey, if you like this music, I'm just gonna make it. You could tell the authentic. You don't have to be chasing these things where it's like, okay, I remember when we were chasing radio, and this was like a great experience being in Vonnegut. When you finally have a budget, and I'm thinking, okay, there's 10 radio spots. So you got to figure out, now I got to compete with Katy Perry. Now I got to obviously compete with Gym Class, but they're popping right now. And we're only getting mentioned with Gym Class, but Big Boys aren't single. We got Will Pugh from Cartel. Like, he's a great friend of mine. But here's the thing. I can't compete with Katy Perry and Lady Gaga. So then you start seeing how conniving everything is when you go to meet these because there is only such a small spot. There's 10. That's why you hear only 10 songs every hour, because there's only every quarter. They only do. If you're trying to chase radio and try to getting on the radio, that's a dogfight. It's a whole nother game. And I was lucky to be involved and just see the mechanics, the wizard behind the curtain type shit on, this is why there's only 10 songs. This is why I like, because there's a billion other songs, but you guys are playing 10 songs every hour. Now I understand why. And every quarter, they change them. And now I get it. When I had to chase radio and was like become privy of the information, I understood more than being just a casual fan. Like, why do I keep hearing the same song every hour?
It's always funny to me when I hear a band either like, I don't know, say something like disrespectful about another band, because it is really a competition. Like, when I was on that Warped Tour in summer 16, there were bands telling me like, oh, why is so-and-so getting booted to the main stage when we've had sold out meet and greets every day, and they're like trying to contain our line. It's like, I don't know. Pop punk seems to be in right now, dude. The fans have no idea that like chances are their favorite bands hate each other because they're so competitive.
And it's like they pitch you against, they make you do that. It's like they almost make this climate.
Or the bands will act friends but really hate each other.
I know, it's like a bunch of girls.
It's fucking crazy.
Speaking of music and getting in cycles, man, what have you been up to? I know 2020 was hectic. I know that 2021's opening up a little bit. Shows are coming up. Do you have anything planned? You've been writing stuff. Obviously, I know you got the music with Forward that you've done and stuff, but what else you got?
Oh yeah. I just released a song with Forward. I write for a lot of other artists. I write for a bunch of other bands. And
he's writing my debut R&B album right now, actually.
Dope.
We just changed it to a polka album.
Oh,
hell yeah.
But I like to co-write, and so I got really into that from behind the scenes. And and then, my father just passed away, and that was like a big transition during the pandemic. And so I moved from Austin back to Georgia, dealing with like a bunch of personal stuff. But the big thing is that like I'm really excited is so I have been acting a bunch and then getting in acting, but I started this cartoon with one of the writers on the show Blackish, who I grew up with. Yeah. So he's one of my best friends, Isaiah Lester, and so I started just coming up with this cartoon, and it's like I don't want to announce it. I don't want to I don't want to I've just learned to not preemptively do it, because it's not that it won't jinx it, but it's like but it might not happen. So what it is so we've been pitching. So I've been basically I'm saying all that to say that I've been involved behind the scenes on I'm gonna do the voice of the show. I did all the music, and it's it's kind of like it's a hip hop Hey Arnold meets Recess.
Nice.
Wow, hip hop Hey Arnold. That's my new email.
Yeah. I already got it, so sorry.
Oh shit!
You can have the Hotmail. I got the Gmail.
I'm gonna get the CompuServe.net username.
The Prodigy. What was it? What was it? Prodigy.net. The
Prodigy was so bad that I couldn't even get this shit to
was
work.
It Prodigy.net?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It was like really the first shitty one.
Yeah, that was the first one. It was AOL and the Prodigy.
They were so bad.
Yeah, so I've been doing that and transitioning, but from music to TV, and then being involved in the TV writing, doing all the voices and the music with this, seeing how it works. Because it seems, I always said this too when I started getting into acting, it would seem like, hey, music and TV, it's entertainment, it's the same thing. It's completely different. It's completely, it's the polar, even my manager was like, yo, I'll step in when you want me to step in. I have no idea. And he's like a full-blown music manager, but it's just, that is that's how polar opposites these mediums are. But that's been great doing that. But also, I just turned in all my vocals the other day, so I have a whole EP coming out. So it's coming out, and I don't have a name yet, so maybe you guys can name it.
If you want to name something
put that
stupid,
pressure
I got
on
you.
us, bro.
No, I'm saying like I did all my vocals, so it's almost like when an artist, I checked all the boxes, because it's been such a long time coming since I released my I've only released 2 retail ready projects, but I just kind of rap on everyone's shit. I write with everyone, but Kyle Lucas is only like 2 retail ready projects on top of the free mixtapes, right? I'm talking about like no samples, the Spotify type vibe. So I haven't crossed that yet, but I'm just checking the box off that I turned in all my vocals. So I'm like kind of officially done, which has been a 2-year thing coming, honestly.
So I'm okay with naming your album, but I might have to hear it. So maybe if you want to send it to us low key,
I want to name it without hearing it. I want this title to have
like that idea
nothing
too.
to do.
Like, wouldn't it be that would be fucking hilarious.
This is the Sloth EP.
The Sloth EP.
But I have maybe I'll come back on and we'll poll everyone. And
Lamppost
say, hey,
Lemonade. No, don't call it
J.
that.
Cole stole this album title.
Yo, you Jermaine Cole. I call him out by his real name.
How about the
on-season? And the parentheses, Aubrey Graham did it first.
How about the on season?
Wow.
The on season in Off-White.
You.
Or you could.
We can't bring Virgil into this.
You could call it
not after that Cuddy dress.
Piriformis.
He needs to go and just take a break.
He needs to work on shoes, and he needs to apologize for that abomination of a Pop Smoke album cover.
Yo, I know. Yo, that's the funny thing is that is a lot of pressure. But do you feel he kind of phoned it in? I do feel.
He hella phoned it. You're a fucking artist, and you phoned it in for a dead rapper. Come on.
Yeah.
The album ended up being huge too. So like, it's
so good too. So good.
Such a good album.
But so do you think? Let me ask you this: do you think it gets so because look at all the SoundCloud-esque visuals and covers, it's almost like the I don't know how to make graphics is the new graphics. So I can't tell if they really don't know how to make
Kendrick
graphics.
Lamar's Damn cover.
What was that? I don't remember.
It's
It's
just
just the word?
basic as
him.
shit.
It's just him in front of a brick
It
wall.
looks like you made it on
Damn.
MS Paint.
Yeah, he's like
But I
standing.
think
in front of
isn't that the new thing that they're all doing?
Lana Del Rey's new album cover. It
I don't know what
looks
it looks like.
fucking atrocious. It's called
just a
Blue
chick.
Banisters. It's just
So-
her face with no makeup and a terrible border.
But now let me ask you this: so do you think?
I mean, what do we want?
all the
South
people-
style
We
Style
actually don't allow guests to ask us questions.
You guys, I know you guys are blowing my mind, but I do want to ask you this. You know how there is a certain appeal to when you see the kid on SoundCloud, like a Nothing Nowhere, or when they first dropping and they're like, it feels organic because nothing's polished and nothing's mixed and nothing, or is that the fuck? Is it like a mind fuck, or is
I
they
think
do
it
know
does
what
have
they're
to,
doing?
It has to have substance in it, and I don't mean this literally, but Pusha T's album for Daytona is probably the best because it was Whitney Houston's bathroom the night that she OD'd, right? And I think that's where it's like no effort, it's just a picture.
They
He
had to
fucking
buy
paid
that
money,
photo.
he
It was
paid
like
money,
150
got the
grand
picture.
or 15 grand,
Kanye,
30
the cover for Ye was a picture he took on his iPhone in Idaho or some shit. On
I
his way to
feel that,
Wyoming.
though, but I'm saying I feel that is a very artistic attempt.
Yes,
What
it
I'm
is.
talking about is the Virgil shit, where it's like you're just going off of you being
He
Virgil.
failed it. He failed that. I think he attempted to be just like simplistic, right? He attempted minimalism, almost a minimalism approach
Right.
to it. But it's like, dude, you can't just phone it in. Kind of. That's kind of what you're doing. You're phoning it in. Where like
Yeah,
Kanye,
but I can feel the 18-year-old kid who's making a masterpiece, and it's literally just something on his phone. It's
Yeah.
like I can kind of tell the authenticity of that, but then I can also tell the authenticity of a fucking major label artist doing stuff in like a VHS film on 1980. Like, it's like, no, they're doing that because they don't have access to what you have access to, but you're doing that to imitate that. You know what I mean? Am I just speaking out?
No,
of pocket?
you
No,
make
you're right,
sense.
you're right.
Like you're going like about
It's
the
like
quality
Inception.
of the actual music over like the production quality. What I think the way that would be interpreted by I don't know, an 18-year-old per se, they're gonna listen to a song and it's like, okay, you have a decent rapper that might have some talent, has some promise, because like when you listen to a demos suck. You're
Right.
supposed to listen and like try
See
to
where-
guess
see
where the
where it can
artist is
go.
going. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You know, because that's like, it's all about potential. I think that a lot of younger people especially find artists like that who have shit production values, whether or not they're talented, and they think, I found
Yeah.
a diamond in the rough.
Right.
I'm more woke than everyone else because I'm going to put this guy's name in my Twitter bio and stan him when no one's fucking heard of him. And they get
Right.
behind acts like that for the wrong reasons.
But then the low quality aspect of the kids, I feel like the new kids who just don't have access to all that, but they have a low quality aspect to release the music.
They should
When-
find a way to get access to Cool Edit Pro.
Well, dude, you're telling me. I had this argument today where I was like,
bro,
I
we
think the
recorded on acid. What are you talking about?
But I'm
Like,
saying I
that's
think
what
the
we use.
influx now is the ability that kids are making music so young. It's so young because they can do it. But I thank God like my 12-year-old freestyles didn't show up and be my first release. There's no quality control.
It's great
a
that
very
they start
sliding
young.
thing.
But nobody should be signed young. There was a band, I think Metallica might have backed them, and they were like, I don't know, 12 or 13, and they signed this 3-piece. There was a band of like 13-year-old girls or 12-year-old girls called like something about Care Bears, and they got signed. And it's like, you're just signing them to be young. Like, a lot of those 15-year-olds making shitty music, they're going to be platinum selling artists when they're 26. But when they're 15, they need to keep making the trash in the basement.
Right. But the problem is now, though, that you can release it publicly. So it's like now you can really. Before you had to do all that shit in the basement, but by the time you're 18, 19, you're fleshing these songs out. You've done a million bad songs no one's heard.
And that
but
shit
now
helps.
with the environment is that it's so muddied because people are releasing music so young and because they have the ability to. But I'm not going to be the old guy saying don't do shit. But I'm just trying to dissect it from an outside looking in. Like, is it making it better or is it worse that you're releasing these things at 12 and 13, these rappers, when you should be waiting till 19 because you have it polished and figured out? Or if it's hot, it's hot. Who the fuck am I to say that? You know,
I'm a firm believer that rejection at a young age is healthy. That if you're told, hey, at 14
no
years old,
participation trophies.
No participation with
that.
No, you need to be told that you
need to
suck.
win.
Look, I
get better.
At one point.
Get better.
People told me that shit, and it bothered me, and I worked to get better. Like,
But
you want to show people your music. You don't want to be ashamed of it where it's like, oh, this is only for me, and I'm the only one that's going to understand it
but
because
maybe
I
if you're
wrote
14, it should be, though, because you haven't really done the reps, the 10,000 hours.
14, you need to get knocked back down to size. I think you should just tell a random 14-year-old they suck just to keep them healthy, bro. Even if you don't know them or know what they do, just let them know.
Hey, how old are you? I'm 14. You suck.
Hey, you fucking suck, kid.
There's also
you can't even do a kickflip.
Fuck you.
There's also
get or die, bro.
Yeah.
Take off that Thrasher shirt, you fucking poser.
Hey, you're like, what's the Rolling Stone song? You don't know it. Take the shirt off. You know what I'm thinking is now nobody's checking them. They can do a music video on their iPhone. They can do it. They're getting of the growing pains that I think artists need to be, right? So I think all the music is generally quality-wise just showing the age.
I'm hearing that we need to bully kids a lot more. Is that what you're hearing, Brian?
Yeah, bring back online bullying for fucking real, bro.
I say bring back physical bullying. I'm about to start going to school and shoving kids in lockers. I don't know. I'm just
schools I don't even
go to a middle school and just start pushing people.
Start with the middle school.
There might be several laws. There might be several laws we're breaking and doing that, gentlemen. But yes, I do believe that school bullying.
We're all gonna get like some messages tomorrow. Be like, I feel like you guys are plotting something.
I'm getting them right now. So
in accordance with Megan's law, I feel I need. You know what? Never mind. Just forget about it.
The takeaway needs to be Chino XL is the best.
There you go, dude. There you go.
I love that you know Chino XL. Do you know how many podcasts and interviews I've done that people have no idea?
All of them?
Probably a lot because it's been a while since I've heard his name mentioned.
But I'm saying hip hop shit, not just I hate the scene shit. Like the fact Chino XL, that's
when I listened to him,
underground.
His album advertisements were in the back of the magazine, whereas the big acts were in the front. And I think that speaks volumes. Like, I like a lot of underground shit. I think Dilated People is one of my favorite acts. I like Phil to Agony and to Far Eye. There's a lot of people now who don't know any of the words I just mentioned. No, but I'm from Cali.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I love all that shit. I didn't know LA had an underground hip hop scene until I moved to SoCal, and I ate it up. I love that shit.
Yo, you want to tell like the biggest thing that when you meet someone, I get excited about rappers that I meet, and like no one has any idea who they are. But
no, it's what they mean to you.
But it's the thing is like I can't help but rap their verses to them. I don't know why. When I met Rascast and I was like, oh my God, I love you so much. And I was, yo, I kid you not, I kill your little homie like Kid Rocks. And I was like, that was so hard when I was 13, but then Josie passed away, but he had a bar going, I kill your little homie like Kid Rocks, I kid you not. But I met him as an adult, a grown ass adult in New York, and I was just started rapping him. And I was like, man, I pulled the amateur move like I've never been around someone famous before.
You've never been around anybody cool.
That is such a random West Coast rapper to mention because behind the scenes, we've been doing the little work to get him on the show.
I mean, do you need help?
it's so we know someone that knows him allegedly. It's just a really random act. Like Apparently, a friend of mine, my original investor, knows Razkaz real well and says he was going to get him on our
he's
show.
from the first in Patchwork in Atlanta. He's Blue Da Vinci's. What?
Blue Da Vinci is another name that's sick as fuck. What? Where did Blue Da Vinci go?
He's his cut. Well, he's BMF. He got arrested, but he's Atlanta though. So Razkaz's record deal was in Atlanta at Patchworks. So. Huh?
That makes a lot more sense now that you said that, because Blue Da Vinci was on the rise at one point, and yeah, that would halt it.
And then when BMF, remember that whole like big thing happened in Atlanta, but
everything cool? What happened?
Is he thinking?
I heard you. I saw you talking, but I didn't hear anything you said.
Oh God, we lost him.
No, he can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
You can't hear Matt?
No, I couldn't hear anything he said about the Blue Da Vinci part, but I saw you talking.
Oh,
I think I was just leaning back. I don't think I was actually talking.
But I'm saying if you want like I could probably make that happen if you really want to. Like he is.
Yeah, get Razkaz on. We'll talk an hour about nature of the threat. Fuck it.
Seriously, like I think that should be the stuff that people really, really talk about to show light on. I mean, what, Interview with a Vampire? That's fucking like we could dissect that for like hours.
He's got some hits. We recently went through this badass pandemic. That's been super fun. What were your struggles and hopefully some successes like during the pandemic?
I mean, I think
I got fat.
I did gain 20 pounds. That is for sure. I did definitely gain 20 pounds.
I also gained your 20 pounds.
But I think, I mean, honestly, and not even to get too deep, like my father passed away mid-pandemic, and me and my girlfriend drove across the country from Austin to Atlanta, and to deal with all that during the pandemic, it was like one thing almost after another, and it was like almost, damn, when it rains, it pours for real, and I couldn't, like, it was, you can't see anyone in the hospital, you know, everything is like, I obviously I've had all my goodbyes and I don't have any regrets about that, but just kind of losing someone during the pandemic is like fucked up. Everything is like the funeral, it just everything involved in that was, okay, yeah, it's the COVID and the pandemic, but I'm also 35 and I never thought my dad would die. So
and a fucking human being that needs like love and affection, right? And you probably would be nice to like hug him or some shit, you know?
Or just yeah. It's like almost the stuff you took for granted when your grandparents passed away, or when friends. I've had multiple people die in my life, obviously, like everyone. But then all the normal stuff that goes along with that is kind of gone during the pandemic. So it was like really hard. That was really hard. And then moving. It was just like a very, very big adjustment period. It's like kind of why I've been kind of quiet. Why I've just been kind of, you ever hear musicians like, well, I'm just dealing with real life shit. And you're like, well, shut up, just make your album. But I'm like, I'm actually I'm empathizing way more and sympathizing with that statement.
You're silently calculating from what it seems like, man. And hey, sometimes, you know, obviously it sucks about your father. Sorry to hear that. You know, I definitely think he'd be proud of you though. You seem like you got a good head on your shoulders. Seem like you're trucking ahead, which is probably what he would want, right? And you know,
maybe
I think
too good of a head on his shoulders. I mean, what are we gonna do with him if
dude,
he's actually
man?
like,
I mean, yeah, and I feel like you're, you know, do that. Sit back, calculate, you know, and you said it. You don't like putting the expectations out there in case they don't come to fruition, right? But I mean, that's something that someone that's got some time under their belt understands, and you know, you do. So
absolutely. I think I was talking to my girlfriend today to piggyback off that, was we kind of feel like we have to compete with every other artist who's doing 10,000 posts a day and 10,000 things a day. Like, I'm gonna lose my fans if I don't just shove my presence of look at my food, I'm in the studio, and then it's like, so the negative space of me going quiet. I thought, you always have the insecurity in the back of your mind, like, I'm not competing anymore. Like, everyone seems to be doing so great, especially on Instagram, right? Like, everyone's doing great. But I'm like, if I'm quiet for
let's be real though, it's great, you know.
Yeah, like, but 6 months or a year, like if I'm quiet, are they still gonna be there? And then going through that with but then being completely okay and creating in the negative space has been like a very, And then I say one thing and I get an influx of messages, and I'm like, okay, my core, I do have a core fan base, and I'm very grateful for that. But sometimes I feel like anyone else is like, if I don't just constantly berate them with information so I stay on the front of their mind, I'm gonna get lost in the shuffle of everyone else doing that. And then it's kind of nice realizing that when I went through some traumatic, very real shit, I still have like a core fan base. I'm very grateful for that. So that was a great like realization, self-aware moment, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I think also too, and I've said this not just for the pandemic and you know, might be coupled for you just with the extra hardships, but I think this is a time where people are really going to get, you know, you spoke to authenticity earlier. This is the time, you know, where we're really going to get great music, great content, great things out of people, and it's the ones that are struggling a little bit that I think are going to create that. So, you know, if anything, use what has happened to like propel yourself, and I think you're already on that. You know, obviously, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But I mean, to hear someone say it confidently, you know, and to know that you're not forcing it, you know,
right.
that's not authentic. That's not what I think people want. And the true fans, you know, and the fans that know you by It's Always Sunny in Marietta, right? The
Right.
Johnny Craig collabs, like those
Right.
kinds of things. You're speaking to those people still, you know, and you're pulling from that. So,
and it's nice, and it's kind of like nice to know that it's just not like a pop in, a microwave artist where I pop me in, pop me out, and then there's just another person, like, because when you dedicate your life to something, and then it's
you don't want to be easily replaceable.
Exactly. It's terrifying to think that it could be
way.
gone like that. Like it could be
Yes.
gone like that if I'm not constantly working a day. Okay, today I have to tell everyone I'm in the studio. I gotta show people pictures in the studio. I gotta like,
and that clouds people, man. People get in the mindset where they have to constantly put stuff out there or think they have a front that they got to keep fulfilling. And what does that do? We see people get stale. We see people fuck up. We see people, you know, they rush something, they put something out that flops, or they God forbid they do something that gets them canceled because they're stressed, or you know, like there's a whole myriad.
They feel the need to compete because everyone else is doing it, right? It's like this almost like I have to do a million things and tell everyone I'm doing a million things. But I have found solace in the negative space, kind of being away from just, you know, I would say inactive.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Throughout your musical career up to this point, what would you say is the project or the thing you're most proud of?
Oof. That was damn, dude. That's a great question. No one's ever really asked me that question. That's a great question.
I mean, we can go back to the stupid questions. I had a Golden Girls reference I was going to make.
No, but I appreciate like great journalism as well. So I and great interviewing skills. That's like a good, I don't know. Let me think for a minute. I think obviously it's working with my heroes. Like I had the song with Jeezy, I got the song with Black Bear, I got the fucking song with MGK, I got the songs that like people, and I love those guys too, so I'm not taking away from them. But having a song where I have like William Beckett, I have a song with Will Pugh, and then I have a song with Chino XL, that means so much to me, because I think I was always just chasing like validation. Having a song with
we all are, baby. We all are. That's all we're all chasing.
When you're a kid and you get into music, you want to be your heroes. I want it to be these people. I want it to be Outkast. There's nothing to be said about being in Atlanta when Aquemini dropped. Like, you talk about a fucking cultural shifting moment, and I was there. Yeah,
your cousin and your
dude, I remember being in my car when I was in elementary school, and my mom picked me up in her little red car, and I remember that was on V103 in Atlanta, and I remember hearing Elevators on the radio for the first time. So being able to do stuff with my heroes is kind of always like, damn. Because I 100% shouts out to Skaggs, but I do 100% have imposter syndrome. I don't think I'm supposed to be here. Oh, just Mr. Skaggs. Did someone just do that on the tent?
Yeah.
Was that
it
that
been
planned,
there.
or did you just press that? That was like
I just pressed it.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but taking that title, but there is a thing as imposter syndrome where this whole time I'm like, any minute these people are gonna think I don't belong here, right? And I just want acceptance as an artist, and then having, I don't know, working with my heroes has always been. From there's like 10 tracks that I've worked on with all my heroes I grew up listening, and they I don't know, it's kind of like my own selfish validation.
I mean, validation enough, man. It's proof in the pudding. I think, like, yeah, of course. I mean, like you said, they're taking their time to show you some effort and put in their work ethic towards your project. That's a big staple for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that would be it. Oh, and I got a great like kind of little story if we're not running out of time. But I was saying, so I was always like telling my parents, if I get a record deal, can I drop out of college? And they're like,
I have learned that
permission.
I've learned it's always better to ask for forgiveness than permission, Kyle.
But I mean, I kind of want to. But I was really, I wanted to make them happy. So I was like, it sounds great, and they're just like, whatever, like sure. But then I'm like, hey, I'm signing this group. I'm signing a Big Boy from Outkast. They're like, what? Who? I guess that's cool. Hey, I'm doing
what?
I'm doing Warped Tour, and they're like, what?
Whatever.
Cool.
Like Big Boy and Andre 3000, 3 stacks.
But now imagine telling that to your middle-aged parents. And I'm like, I'm doing Lollapalooza. They're like, that's not, is that English? Like, are you speaking? Like, what are you talking about? But so I'm like, so once I got my record deal and I started just doing these things, like a year and a half go by. But I remember when I called my dad and said, hey, I'm doing Letterman on Tuesday. And he was like, that's like, it clicked in the older generation who he loved.
They know Letterman.
Yeah. The late night show, the late night scenes. I mean, I think he took the day off work to just watch. It was like, that's what clicked and made my dad feel proud. So that made me feel really proud.
My dad's never going to hear this podcast unless we get signed to Fox News.
Hey, we keep talking QAnon, we might, my dude.
Yo, you guys are going to be the front of that shit.
I should be the head of QAnon because I'm so imaginative. I'd have the best fucking conspiracy theories for those idiots to remember.
It's all otters. Otters are doing it all. It's all otters.
Right. It's all about otters and beavers.
They're gonna crack you on their belly like fucking shells.
The conspiracy starts in Monterey, California.
Is that from South Park?
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna crack it on my belly.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait, I don't understand that reference.
They really do that though, and they juggle rocks.
Yeah.
I've always been curious about this, really anyone who's worked with him, but you've worked with him quite a bit. What is your relationship like now with Johnny Craig?
We're good. I talked to him the other day. I'm on his album. He sent me some records, and my relation, I mean, we're good. That's the thing is I don't think I have I know the controversial figure that Johnny, he's just never like that to me, and I don't really know any of the controversy surrounding him personally. So all the stuff I hear and the stuff I see, it sounds crazy, but it is just like a different person to me. So
I can actually relate with that because he's always been cool to me.
Okay. Well, then you get it, and I'm also not saying. Also, he'd be the first one to say, "Yeah, I'm a fucking asshole to people." So I'm not like discrediting the people that think like Johnny sucks to me one time, and I'm like,
he still owes me money for a MacBook, bro.
Stuff like that. So I get
that's impossible. They were all paid back.
I mean,
that's a joke.
Factually, they were.
Shouts to Artery.
Yeah, shouts to Artery and Rise Records.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, shit, I'm on his new record, and then we'll go months and months without speaking, but then he'll hit me up, and it's when my dad died, him and Mike the Mix, who does a lot of his music, who does a lot of my second album. They like wrote me a song for my dad, and they were like, "Hey, we just want to give this to you." And I was like, "Cool, this is like a phenomenal song. I am in no shape to even fucking attempt to process to put this into. This is never going to be done." But it was pretty sweet of a gesture, you know what I mean? And
that really is. Nobody would think that Johnny Craig, the guy that they vilify on Twitter, is making a song for somebody, like a private song.
Specifically for me for this very important like situation, and then one day, like 5 months later, I did it, and I was like, it was the best like kind of therapy, and it's coming out. It's gonna be on his album, and then I'm also on. And then he sent me another record, and so yeah, we have a great relationship. That's like the crazy thing, because I know there's like sell us some tea and stuff, but I don't really have anything personally that he's done to me to say anything negative.
Oh,
honestly.
we don't try to vilify him either. We understand how Johnny Craig.
I like his music.
The industry
I don't
he's
need
in.
to agree with his life decisions.
Right.
And the industry could be twisted too, man. Yeah,
But there's also it's like a small thing too, where it's like I don't really want to just like. it's like this weird line. I'm trying to say stuff without saying something crazy, but like I don't really care about other people's personal life. Is that weird? Like I don't want I don't care
personal
about his
space is a boundary.
I don't care about other people's relationships, and so it's like I have so much shit going on.
Well, you shouldn't really concern yourself with that type of shit.
That's
so
personal boundaries.
Personal boundaries. Twitter
like,
and
I don't care
on Twitter,
about Brian's stupid ass marriage or his engagement.
Right, like,
I don't care about how stupid that is. How dumb of a decision and how fucking and how awful it is for our show. That shit doesn't even bother me. Like I don't even.
Oh man, holy shit. Okay,
seriously gonna bog down the show when you get married. I swear to God, if it's so fucking.
Are you about to get married right now? Coming up.
October, yeah.
Dude,
you should have just said in the next hour.
Is this the show?
No, I am. Yeah, we are.
Dude, congratulations, man. That's fucking huge. Man.
Appreciate you.
We surprised Kyle with it. Like, surprise, you're officiating and performing.
That would be, man, that would be fucking fire. But I would love to have. Wait, are you both in Austin right now or different parts of Texas?
We're actually marrying each other.
Yeah, we're married.
Oh, wait, what was your question?
Are you guys both in Austin or just Texas?
He's in Austin. I'm in San Antonio.
Okay, dude, I love San Antonio too, man.
That makes one of us.
Really, I love San. You know what's crazy is I've only just been going. Like me and Johnny shot the Worth It video, the White Rabbit.
Johnny used to live here,
yeah,
right?
You did,
right?
Yeah,
but then what's the new name of it?
It's the Alamo
Paper Tiger.
Paper
Tiger, yeah.
But when my mom came to visit me, so me and my girl and my mom, we actually spent like a weekend in San Antonio when I didn't have to just play a show and then leave. But like the whole Riverwalk, it's actually like I honestly had a great time.
So high, bro.
Oh, it's the best. It's the Vegas of Texas because you can walk around with your alcohol. You can just fucking hang out. There's a Dick's Last Resort. There's a fucking.
There's all sorts of
bro.
at the Riverwalk.
There's a ton of shit, bro. It's dope, dude. The Riverwalk, fuck yeah, we go there all the time.
I just really enjoyed actually spending more than just one time in and out playing a show and leaving. Like it's an actual. I had a great time.
Psychos live there, but it's okay. Yeah, straight psychos.
He's not gonna shit on Johnny Craig, so do I just keep pressing the issue? I mean, I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had more I just don't.
No, I'm not even after that. I honestly, what I was gonna get to is I assumed a lot of people didn't continue a relationship with them, so I'm pretty stoked to hear that you did. And I was eventually going to ask if you like some people look at their music like, oh, I can't even listen to the stuff I did with him. You know, some people get pretentious like that, so I was going to see if it turned into something like that. Glad to hear it's not.
Love the music we did.
It's good.
Phenomenal.
I co-wrote on the first Two Slaves albums. I did his solo album with him. Like I really enjoy making music with him. So it's
when you mentioned giving roses to Chino XL, I was like, okay, because that was the track, right? Where you're giving,
Part 5,
yeah.
And we write really good music together, and I just enjoy the music we make. So like, I loved being a part of the first Two Slaves albums, his solo album, him being a part of mine. It was just so fluid. We did so much stuff together in such a short time with the Two Slaves album, with his solo EP, with my stuff, and like we just worked so well together in like I haven't had that in studio chemistry with someone in a long time. You know, sometimes it's pulling teeth writing with other artists. When I write for other bands or I write with bands or other singers, and like sometimes it connects, and honestly, just me and Johnny I just really enjoy. We made so much music in such a short time where you could tell that we really did connect on a way that is kind of few and far between when you're in the studio. It's hit or miss when you're with an artist, you know what I mean? When you work with an artist, it could go. A lot of times it misses. The majority of the time it misses.
Talking collab albums and how sometimes it works, sometimes doesn't. Blueprints was great. I think Blueprints was a perfect, like, and it's not, Johnny to go with like the rap or the R&B, the hip hop kind of style, he fits, right? Because he's soulful and he's got that, and to do that in like the scene, you don't see a lot of collab albums in the scene that like pick up or take off. I thought Blueprints was really, really good. And that goes to show to your musicianship. Do I ask that? Are you the modern day Hall & Oates? Can we maybe get a Craig and Lucas? A Craig and Lucas duo, bro?
Are you Hall or Oates?
This is crazy because I was bumping Hall & Oates' greatest hits like 3 days ago, and
Hall & Oates is a shit. We've got like 8
Holy
songs
fu-
that playing during the wedding. Dude, fuck with me. Hall and Notes, karaoke. Let's go.
What's your song you're
I mean,
coming out to?
obviously, fucking Maneater's the best, right?
Fucking fire.
Did you ask what we're going out to? What?
No, like the dance. Is there going to be a Hall and Oates
Rich
song
Girls
when
this
you
shit?
dance?
Oh yeah. So obviously, Maneater, Rich Girl's
If
gonna
her
be
name's
there.
Sarah,
Yeah. I mean, I'm about that one.
It's not now, but they're gonna change it.
God damn it. Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah. Give me in the memory bank. Talk,
Yeah.
Matt. I'm thinking.
But here's a kicker too, is that like I do understand what you're saying as far as like him being so soulful in so say if you were taking it face value. I took Warped Tour face value. I didn't listen to Cartel before I became really close with Will, and then I appreciated his music. So I didn't grow up so much in the Warped Tour-esque scene,
Right.
but I can understand with Johnny, he is an anomaly with having such an R&B voice. It's like Craig David mixed with like Usher in a scene where you have a billion bands who, and this is not to shit on them, but they kind of sound, they sound very hardcore. But then you have a singer, and I remember like it speaks more to R&B, and Johnny is like R&B to the core. So we did connect on me being from the outside scene, being in it. But he is so talented where he can be and fully embrace being in dance or Emma Rosa or and stuff. But I remember being like in Detroit because we've done so many tours together, and so I'm ignorant to the genre, but I'm so about it. So I'm learning everything, and I'm like, wait, is Dance the first like R&B singer with a screamer? Because that's like the blueprint now. And this was like when Woe Is Me fucking, when that was like the thing. And he was like, I don't know, I think so. But I could not go back long enough to have like an R&B singer and a screamer when they turn into Issues, and then they have like,
I would say that they're one of the, if not the straight up first, because that's what attracted me and Brian to it. Like we saw this dude. And, all due respect to Johnny, when he joined Dance Gavin and the Downtown Battle Mountain album cycle, he looked like redneck white trash. Let's be straight up.
He had rat tails, bro.
Rat Tailgate Party was his MySpace name because he had a rat tail in the front and the back. And I'd never heard of that. And we're like, this guy is going to there's no way this guy is going to sing good because he's a little redneck trashy guy. Yeah. And then it just it was amazing. We were sucked in from there on.
Him and Will, like he lived with Will, and he came up with the name Dance Gavin.
Will is a difficult individual to coincide with, but goddamn is he great on guitar.
Isn't he? Dude, that is like some mathematical, like if you could teach a technical college class on
Will
that
Swan guitar playing.
Yeah. Right?
Someone described it to me as Will's personality in the guitar, that he's never doing one thing for very long because he's ADD and he wants to move on to the next thing, and that's where you get all the signature changes and shit.
Yeah. Shit. Fuck. That's like the perfect way to say that. Like but if you said that, he did kind of like, it is so technically I don't know, I'm probably gonna butcher these terms, but what I'm saying is that Johnny's vocals, Will's, like when they like, it is so different from the stuff that was like the same kind of sounding stuff in that genre. I obviously was attracted to, because I'm such a Coheed fan. I'm such a prog rock, like I'm obsessed. I'm on Josh Weird Science. I'm on his album. I fucking love Coheed so much. I do get a vibe of the guitar, the technical aspect doesn't have like a prog, like Gavin Dance has like a prog aspect of like a Mars Volta right, and like but in a Warped Tour scene. So it's like for some reason like Mars Volta and like Coheed, when that prog rock shit was like popping, they were like, I guess you could say mainstream rock. But then they spawned the fall of Troy for sure. Absolutely. And then you had Dance doing it on like a lower level of a non as known Warped Tour band,
like
but
real underground.
But like,
and now it's called Swancore.
Is it really?
Yeah, there's an entire genre named after Will Swan because he started that label and he signed bands that sound like him. And
what is it?
Blue Swan Records. And so now everyone says, oh yeah, Ideola, Sion Var, Hail the Sun. They're all Swancore. Yeah, I love those Swancore bands.
He started a fucking genre. That is like now name. I didn't know that, but that is incredible.
Yeah, Swancore.
I love that.
You said you worked with William Beckett and Will Pugh. Who's the third Will you would want to work with? Because may I suggest
Swan?
Mike Will made it.
Michael, yeah, that's Marietta too. That's he's around the corner from me. I have never worked with Mike Will. I would love to, obviously.
Or Will Smith.
Oh,
Both.
No disrespect to William Beckett or Will Pugh, but I'll take Will Smith over you every time.
Hank Williams.
What about Jaden Smith? Would you work with Jaden Smith?
No,
That's
I'll
not a
pass.
Will.
I'll pass.
Really? You're gonna pass on Jaden Smith? Pink and blue, bro? Oh,
Huge.
my God.
I'm a huge Will Smith fan, though.
Jaden
Did you
kind
know?
of
Let me
annoys
let me ask you a question. Did you know that there's a different version of the Fresh Prince theme song?
It's a full song.
Have you heard it?
Yeah.
Oh,
they did
okay.
the. You're talking about like the original with the sample, right? You're talking
You
where the
mean
actual
the
beat came
explicit
from.
one where he's
No,
like,
there's a whole nother
West
verse.
Philadelphia, motherfucker, born and raised. Yeah, I heard that one.
You guys don't
What?
know.
What are you talking about? No, yeah, there is yes, there is a song.
He gets
that
on
Will
a
Smith
plane
and
in the
DJ
song? He doesn't
Jazzy
just-
Jeff.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
jump
like an
in.
entire song. It's an
Okay,
entire
cool.
yeah. I know
Damn,
what you're talking about.
that's good
I don't
too
know about
because
cussing
so many people didn't know that, and I just did some hip hop trivia the other day, and like nobody knew that there was a full other version of the Fresh Prince song.
And the
Bro,
only way
most
I know
people
it,
didn't know Shock G was the same dude that did the Humpty dance. So like that shit disappoints me too.
Who didn't know that?
A lot of people when he died.
They didn't know Tupac was in that. Do you remember that movie, Nothing to Lose, that Digital Underground
Yes,
was in?
they were
so scary. I should not have seen that as a kid.
okay. And the
Dan
and
Aykroyd.
my buddy was like, look at that dude's nose, and I was like, bro, that's his real nose. Like that's because Homeboy's got the fat nose. It's Shock G, isn't it? He doesn't have this fat,
All
fat
right,
nose.
just passed away.
And I was like, bro, that's his real nose. He's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, no, dude, yes. Dude, Nothing to Lose. That's great that you fucking know that movie because not a lot of people know
That's
that
a scary
movie.
movie. That was like wasn't Demi Moore in it, or it was Dan Aykroyd, and it was just a fucked up idea. And I should not have seen that at like 5.
Yes. It's like one of those movies where it was like, no, it was, and not a lot of people know about it, and it's great because when you go back and watch it, it's fucking still holds up because it's like a Clue. It's like a Clue meets like a monster movie. It's
they're monsters.
Weird,
they live in a junkyard and they're
so
trapped.
Weird.
But
yeah,
in
and they're
Digital
like
Underground's Tupac's in it when he's the dancer in Digital Underground. And they're in that for a scene. That's crazy.
Yes. Wow,
All
great
right.
movie.
The last 3 questions, the most important questions in the whole interview.
Let's do it.
What are some of your favorite places to play?
Venues or like cities?
Venues, sandboxes, parks, playgrounds, whatever.
I love the Masquerade. That was where I like built my band. That's where like obviously the Masquerade in Atlanta.
I haven't been
Masquerade.
to the new one.
Yeah, and it's good. It's nice. It's just really like high quality, and I'm so used to the bullshit. Like where you're like, oh shit, we're about to die. If like,
hell, purgatory, and heaven. Yeah, just
but when you're in heaven
and
you pack it up with heaven. I remember the last time I was there, I saw the Cartel like 10-year anniversary, and when they did Honestly, and I remember being in the back, and I was like, clearly overpacked this place. But like I remember the floor creaking so much, and I was like, damn, is this how I'm going out? Listening to fucking Honestly, like the most pop punk, but I loved because that's where Vonnegut, we were the local band selling tickets to open up to the band. That's where we were really trying, so I love, there's an affinity in my heart for the old Masquerade in Atlanta. Dude,
I hit part of the fence out front of that place and knocked it down.
Really?
The wooden fence. Yeah, the night you met me, I couldn't drive that bandwagon for shit, and I totally wrecked that fence and drove off.
I met you on the Slaves Dance Gavin Dance Tour, and when they came to
Atlanta,
right?
wasn't with Slaves. It was Dance Gavin on that awful All-Stars tour with 12 bands.
Oh fuck! So it was there all day. I remember it was so hot, and it was all day, right? Wasn't it the first band was like at noon?
Yeah, it was. I mean, All Stars tour. If you want to be real, they book those tours terribly because they put so many openers on. It's no one is stoked for this. No one can last through that whole bill.
It was like
that tour
was like
hell.
a Warped tour. It was like a half Warped tour in a smaller.
It was all the bands that didn't get on Warped were on this, and trust me, dude. The worst routing ever for a tour, fucking ever, dude. You're talking 7-hour drives every single night.
Oh,
nothing was nearby. We're bypassing the next stop just to backtrack and hit it the next day. It was bad.
That's triggering even talking to me because
trauma.
I toured in a van for so long. That is one of the positive things of COVID is that I got a break from just you become so accustomed to how like unhealthy that is, that lifestyle, and that like the fucking drive from Houston to Florida every time. It's like they're routed the same time, the same way every time. You become so used to just doing the routes in these, I guess, tours that are routed the exact same way every time.
So much weed, cocaine, and gas station food. It's a surprise like I'm even alive now. That tour, like, there's so many reasons why that's the worst tour I've ever been on.
What company
mainly
is that? Why is it also like who's behind that?
I was because I asked that question. I was told that a girl at Sumerian Records booked that tour, and she had never booked a tour before. Sounds plausible, but I have no idea.
But you were on it, and you were like, "That sounds about right."
Yeah, and when I joined it, I was like, "Man, this sucks." Every night sucked ass, and I just told myself,
drives, "Fuck,
I'm gonna get fired or kill these guys before I quit." And yeah. It was bad. There was one
Both
night
happened.
in particular. Yeah. Oh my God. They went from my favorite band to I hate these people. There was one night. It was a crazy night. They would not sleep. Every band I drive sleeps on the drives. These guys are wide awake, fucking 3 a.m, Central California. I'm filling up with gas, and I have no idea why every light in the bandwagon is on. And so I open the door.
cocaine."
And I have no idea, but there's 3 of them sitting there shirtless. The AC's not running properly. It's hot as shit, and there's vegetables all over the floor. Apparently, the big loud crash I heard was them opening the vegetable crisper out the fridge and then dumping it on the floor. But like, I asked them, like, "Hey, what's up? What's going on?" And no one said a word. So my question for you is: do you have any crazy or weird tour stories?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I got a crazy story of going to. I went with Big Boy and I went to the Playboy Mansion. And it was a wild thing because Puffy was having a party, but
Love. His name is Love.
Yeah, Diddy,
changed his name
Puff
to
and
Love.
Diddy Love. Yeah, Love is his middle name now.
Change his name to Love now.
I can't. I am not a subscriber
Brother
to
Love.
any of the other ones other than Puff.
Are you
got
dead
into
naming
the
him? Are you dead
got
naming
into
him?
the Playboy Mansion without mentioning Skag's name?
How dare you?
But it was before I knew him. I guarantee you now, if I did that, I would get fucking VIP now.
you would. Yeah,
if
you
I did
would.
that.
I
But
said his name at Bucky's. They gave me a cinnamon roll. So, I mean, yeah, it's good everywhere.
You only got a
that is, like,
cinnamon roll? I got
equivalent.
tacos.
that is like pretty equivalent. But
Cinnamon roll or kolache?
I do remember going, and I was so excited. So it was Big, his wife, and then my manager and a handful of people. But I remember, so Puffy was playing, but he set up a stage on the lawn. So we all had like these weird little like canopies, and there was like 100. There was 70 people to 100, if that. But it was him doing Pat, and then Busta Rhymes went up on stage. So I'm just like sitting there in the play. It was a very bizarre situation because I'm like the only one standing up watching Puffy play a show on a stage that's no bigger than your like knee. So he set up, definitely like it was set up on a stage. But then Chris Brown came on, and then Busta came on. They did Pass the Cavassier, and I was like 23 or 24, and I was just like, I'm at the Playboy Mansion watching him do like Victory and all these songs I grew up watching, but then there's like no one's really paying attention, and I was like, this is like the most fucking bizarre moment right now. I'm the only one like standing like, yay, go Puffy. Chris Brown. Busta Rhymes is here, cool, let's keep it going. Everyone's walking around, all the girls are naked, but they're like body painted, and they're just like walking around, and
It's
it was
probably
just like
funnier that you were the white dude doing it too. You were like, "Yeah, Puffy, let's go."
I was just like, "Wait, Puff's here?" I was like, "Let's do this shit." Like,
Papa Diddy Pop, let's do this.
Yeah, exactly. Ben, yeah, Papa Diddy Pop. I don't know.
I'm glad that you got that reference. That makes me happy.
Yeah,
Papa Diddy Pop Pop.
Yeah. But I do. That was like as an older person, as like 10 years removed from there, I was like, wow, that was a once in a lifetime moment that you're in right now. And it all came from fucking rapping. Like, this is so bizarre. You do not talk about imposter syndrome. I'm like, I definitely don't belong here. Why the fuck am I here?
The most important question of the entire podcast. Now, this question's been botched before, so I got high hopes for you,
But before
Kyle.
you say anything, I do need to interject because the last one, other than the Masquerade, I know you're in San Antonio right now. Dude, the White Rabbit's kind of classic, man. I've always had a
venue.
Oh, it's a great venue.
The bathroom is not, but the venue is.
But I love the staff. I've had like such great shows at the White Rabbit or the Paper Tiger or whatever. So that's the second to piggyback off, because I know you're there and you just take it for granted that it's down the street. But I
totally do.
I do enjoy that venue though. You've been to all the shitty ones too though, so that you can tell that is a very good venue, and all those people are great too.
It's a great venue. The staff is good. I've been to venues that suck and have bad staff, so I know the difference. Yeah. What's ruined that venue for me is the local shows. They have a tendency to do a 60 band local show.
That'll do it. That'll.
That's all.
There's not even 60 signed bands I like.
That's all local shows for you.
That'll do it, man. So I feel that. So I'll take that last question, and I just want to give the Paper Tigers a shout out too. They're the great.
Paper Tigers definitely dope. This is the most important question.
Yeah, this one holds the weight.
This was bungled or botched, whatever you want to call it, by another guest. So I have high hopes here. Okay. We are going to play a very politically incorrect game of Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
Oh wait, we're not going to do the Del Taco In and Out.
Yep, nope, not important anymore.
Del Taco or In and Out? Do you like Del Taco and In and Out?
Yeah, I probably like Del Taco more. I don't.
Yeah,
that's what's up, my dude, my dude.
All right, that's a victory.
In and Out's hype is too big, so it will never live up because everyone thinks it's perfect, and it's just like,
if someone hyped up In and Out to me before I had it, then I'd probably be disappointed because it's a very small menu, But
you're from Cali too, so you grew up with it like there.
Yeah, I mean, that's my U.S. embassy.
You have a Del Taco, or wait, you're in Atlanta, so yeah, you don't have Del Taco.
No, we don't have Georgia. Georgia has Del Tacos. They're not in Atlanta. They are south of not Marietta. Not Rome, not Athens, Savannah. No, not Savannah. What's
Savannah
the other one?
South? The rest is going up north.
South.
So it's probably where Statesboro is, where the college town is, right? I'd imagine that's like near Savannah.
There's several. Because someone from
our
Georgia
closest
told me
is
that
Oklahoma.
blew my mind.
That's our closest Del Tacos in Oklahoma, I think. So we're missing out.
Really?
Man. We love Del Taco. We love it.
Oh yeah.
There was some
guy,
here.
though. I'm a Taco Bell guy.
Oh, boot him, dude! Our first boot of the fucking bro.
I
Del Taco
you,
Bell.
Kyle.
Yeah, what the fuck, bro? Taco Bell.
Oh my god, you were doing so good.
God, man.
You guys didn't let me talk though. You like booted me before.
Well, yeah, because you say outlandish shit like that.
Now I'm gonna tell you. Now I'm gonna tell you my order right now, and I want both of you guys to go tomorrow, and I'll Venmo you to buy it. But I need you to take this order tomorrow.
And I will shit profusely.
What a ball move.
No, you won't. I mean, because you must be eating the meat. You don't eat the meat there. But
listen,
it's not Kyle. It's not called meat. It's called sand.
Dog food. Listen. I want this, so I'm gonna Venmo you. I'm gonna get your Venmos tomorrow. I'm gonna send you the money, but I need you to document that you're gonna do this. If you actually do this, I want you go to Taco Bell tomorrow, and I want to get you guys to get cheesy gordita crunch with black beans instead of beef, and then call me and then tell me how wonderful that is. It's a game changer. It's a game changer.
That sounds dank enough because I already like that with the sardine paste and sand meat.
Yeah,
adding
now
black
just get the black beans instead of beef. Holy fuck! Like that is like a game changer. And
are you vegan or vegetarian?
I was raised vegetarian, but I'm not anymore. I didn't mean until I was like 22. Isn't that wild?
He's like, no, I'm Jewish.
Did you get sick?
No. Yeah, absolutely. I got sick the first year. Hell yeah. But I'm still like my family's still vegetarian, so I'm just
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
That was such a random joke.
But here's the thing is I do actively want to follow this up, and I'm gonna send you Venmo money tomorrow, and you need to take pictures and then tell me, and then I want you to retract the statement of kicking.
Bro, if they're open when I get off of here,
when you feel how fired that Taco Bell is tomorrow, say I retract kicking him off for that statement because he's right.
Matt and I, we actually are having a business meeting on Sunday, so we may have to do that.
I'm catering it. Then I'm Taco Bell catering. I got you.
We just got burned. Kyle has good taste. About time someone on this show did.
Whoa, boot her, bro. Get her out of here.
She's a vegetarian.
I mean, shit. But you don't even have to be a vegetarian to love this order. But anyways, I digress. Let's take that last question. And then I got your lunch tomorrow. I got your lunch.
If Taco Bell is open tonight, I'll eat that shit. All right. It's a very crucial game of Fuck, Marry, Kill. All right?
Let's go.
Your first option.
Okay.
Bad Baby. Your second option, Bad Bunny. And your third option, The entire band of Bad Religion.
Damn.
Do you know who Bad Baby is, or as we refer to her, Bad Bobby?
So
Bad
killing her off
Bobby.
the top. So Bad Bunny is the like he's like huge, right? So
I think it's great. I think it's great that you're fucking dudes.
dude, yo, come on, man. It's 2021, whatever.
It's
I'm
2021,
not
bro.
talking to Bad Bunny. I don't want like when she talks, I get cringe. So I can't fucking.
I didn't say you had to talk to her, sir. I didn't say you had to talk to her.
By the way,
I'm
this
killing
episode
her.
of I Hate the Scene is brought to you by fucking dudes. Okay, fucking dudes.
Yo,
and
shout out
here.
to what Dwight Howard. Shouts to
Yo,
Dwight.
shouts to Dwight. Shouts to D White.
Okay,
Yo, that I'm
remind me-
marrying. What's the other? The first one's. Yo, I'm gonna have to unfortunately. Bad Bunny looks like he would take care of me my whole life. He's rich as shit, right? So I'm
And
marrying
he's got
him.
good music.
I'm marrying him, and then I'm gonna have to close my eyes and take on all four of those, 5 of those guys.
So are you just fucking Bad Religion for the epitaph deal, or what?
No, just because they're not Bad Bunny.
I got
Bad
two.
Baby.
Bad Baby, yeah, the Catch Me Outside girl. I don't want to. I'm killing her off the rip. I just can't do it. I'm just killing her. I just want her done, and then I'll have to just question my sexuality. With
I
these
think
guys.
I think Bad Bunny.
That's
will
a pretty
treat you
guy
right.
though. That's a pretty guy. So and
he's
he's
a
rich.
good-looking
And
dude.
he's rich. So
Makes
like
good
I'm with
music.
that. Yeah,
It's
and I
pronounced Palaya.
could talk about
Playa.
old No Effect songs with Bad Religion and all the fucking. I could relate to those guys. And
Yeah,
just
they
make
got
them-
Mike on speed dial, bro.
Yeah, right. Oh my god, I love that.
Two
guy.
things. I believe your new album should be called Piriformis, which if you
What
do
does
not
that mean?
know, that is actually the anal condition Dwight Howard had. So
God
Piriformis
damn
would be
it.
the name of your new album.
Dude, I think you just named my fucking new album. I'm all
secondly-
about that life.
Secondly, before we get out of here, I think we do got to do a toast to the original OG gangster himself, New Jack. We didn't do it on
Yeah.
air. I only have water, but R.I.P. our
I
boy New
finished
Jack.
mine, but I
R.I.P.
will
It's okay.
do a
It's
fat
okay.
fucking line for him.
R.I.P.
Yo.
Literally the OG gangster of the wrestling world.
Seriously,
New Jack.
Yeah,
58
that is
heart
that
attack.
is a hit, man. Cheers to New Jack. He was a legend. Fucking goddamn, the most reckless person. Like fuck, like those stories sound like if you told me those stories, I'd be like, you just made that up. Like
I'm
that's a lie.
surprised when they did Dark Side of the Ring, and I know you've seen this, Kyle, but when he went off that
I have
scaffolding
seen.
with the big gentleman, I'm surprised it didn't turn. I'm surprised it didn't turn him retarded because
I
he
know.
fucking landed on his head. He had headaches his entire life after that.
He can't say
fucking
that
bananas.
word, and he says it every week.
Yo, what's wild is when you remember when he was talking in that episode and he's saying about the kid, he lied about his age. but
Mass
it's like
transit.
He still
Yep.
had like no remorse. He was just like,
He
fuck
was
him.
so proud to stab that kid.
Stab
R.I.P.
that
Mass Transit.
motherfucker. Yeah,
like
dude.
in retrospect, you're doing a documentary like 20 years later, and you're like, whoa, that's kind of. He was just like, I don't know, he fucking lied. I
fucked
love
The
that
way
though.
he told the story is he's like the kid didn't want to cut himself, so he's like, "Shit, yeah, I'll do it." They said it was an X-Acto knife. I had a fucking scalpel. I went coast to coast on that motherfucker's head. Like, dude, no remorse. This is a 17-year-old boy that you
Hey.
just massacred in the ring.
But here's
You
the
step
kicker:
into
is
the-
like
you
he had
step into the
20 years.
Thunderdome.
He had 20 years to say, okay, maybe I don't feel that way anymore. But he was still like, nah, fuck him. Like, I was still like,
Yeah,
I think
he's
that's
still
why I
had all
like
the
Yeah, dude, you step into the Thunderdome, you're gonna get burned, bro. I don't
Welcome
know
to
what
the
you're talking
Terror Dome.
about.
I was telling, I think Mark, I was telling you that my across the street neighbor is the voice of New World Order. Like,
Yeah,
That
that's
blew
the
my
fucking
mind.
best. I think it's great that you just referred to Matt as Mark too. By the way,
Mark, my bad.
I'm
my
gonna
bad.
be Mark from now on. It's cool.
It says
You know what?
Musselwhite and like, so I was like, it's an M. What is Musselwhite?
His
That's
last
my
name.
weird ass last name. That's
Yeah.
why it's so easy to Google me.
Is that your actual last name?
Yeah,
God, I wish it wasn't.
It actually is?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that,
Dude,
it
well,
holds
no,
other
and
meanings.
no, because that's like Travis Barker or some shit. It sounds like it sounds like someone made it up.
People can
but-
spell Barker.
Yeah, they fucking actually will spell muscle like M-U-S-C-L-E, like muscle.
Or
They don't
put
do
the L
muscle.
before the E and just
Yeah.
fully insult me.
What is that? Is it
I don't know,
Scandinavian,
that's some
actually.
English name. I could just lie to you and make up something, but I think
it's
it's
definitely
English.
European.
It's some sort of pirate. I don't know.
Yo, I love that you guys love wrestling too, man. How good
man.
is Dark Side of the Ring? Like,
Oh,
I'm
fucking
So
The best.
good. I'm so
best.
mad I missed
Can
the episode.
I know
yesterday.
I know we're an hour and a half over time, but can I share a theory with you?
Go
Are you
ahead.
ready for this, Kyle? I'm about
I
to blow
hate
your
you.
mind.
I hate
I'm about
your
to
theory.
blow your mind. Okay, you saw the Chris Benoit two-parter, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh.
how do you feel about this? Him and Eddie had a romantic relationship.
No.
And that's why he
Why
was
are you
so
saying?
heartbroken.
Well, why do you think? Because
I mean, just how heartbroken he was. Maybe not on.
Yeah.
And my buddy actually called me today because I brought this up last week because we were interviewing fucking Jojo Feeney, who is like the Ring of Honor historian, and so we talked wrestling like nonstop, and I brought that up to him. And maybe not so much on Eddie's part, but I believe that there was something deeper, you know, between him and Benoit, hence the Benoit being so heartbroken over him. You know, I think that was a good catalyst for why he killed himself, is he didn't have his best friend in the world with him anymore, you know, however it may have been, best friend.
You know,
I don't
Brian,
know, but
when
he didn't
you
just
die,
kill
I'm
himself,
not going to
though.
be
That was
sad
the thing.
about
It's
it.
like, I would agree with you, and I also wouldn't be shocked if that was true. So it's like, I'm not saying that, but I also, if you said that, hey, here's some stuff, it was like not when, you know, homosexuality was accepted publicly back then, and it is what it is, I'm not even tripping over that. But I would not think that's why, because he killed his family, though. That's the thing.
That's not the catalyst to why he killed his family, but I think that was the catalyst to him not wanting to live anymore. Wow. I think the killing his family was CTE, head trauma,
right?
For sure.
How dark
is
that shit? That shit is a fucking holy fuck.
Yeah, what's even darker is that big ass knife he had hidden in his son's bedroom. That, like, I don't know what was gonna happen with that shit.
It's wild. That happened
weird.
Down the street. That was in Alpharetta, and I remember when that happened.
Oh, I didn't even
like
think about that.
20 minutes from when that was all over the news, and I remember,
it was.
I couldn't, because you always think you're about to hear something else, and then you're like, someone broke in and killed them, and then he did it himself. Holy
well, that
fuck.
was the conspiracy theories on like Wikipedia all over the place, was that somebody else did it. It wasn't him. Somebody broke in and fucking.
They really tried to say Kevin Sullivan killed him.
QAnon that shit real hard with conspiracies.
Oh,
fuck yeah!
I didn't know.
The night Benoit died, he was slated to win the ECW championship.
Yeah.
Oh, and he just didn't show up, and that's
he didn't show up, and so they had a welfare check, and the police found they went in and they found the bodies, and that's when everything hit them.
Wasn't it so fucked up? Wasn't it something with like the weight bench and like
they hung themselves?
He hung himself with the weight bench, and what's even more fucked up is last year at Backlash, which is almost a year to the day. They did Randy Orton versus Edge in a last man standing match, and they they incidentally reenacted the Benoit suicide because they one of them hung the other on a weight bench the same way Benoit killed himself.
Well, I don't believe that's an accident then.
No, that was.
Well, it's hard to say they did that shit intentionally. That's just bad.
Because I mean, you can't accidentally. Come on.
Well, they're fighting around the performance center, and that's what's there is workout equipment.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, damn, that is dark as fuck. What you guys think about the 2-part that just the new season? That was great.
I didn't see the Pillman episode yet.
The Brian Pillman episode, it might have fucked with me more than any other episode as far as like my perception on the guy, because I don't like hate Brian Pillman or anything, but when someone dies young, often they're painted like a hero, and to hear the other side of this story that through a custody battle, he unfortunately caused his ex-wife to kill herself.
Dude, oh my god, like that's
on
the part.
That's phone with her mother.
That's like being privy to family information that you don't, people that just that's like, oh, that's some family shit. But then they're letting us, the public, who like I felt like we should. I
heard that she killed herself on the phone. I didn't know that it was a direct response because of what Brian and Melanie did. Basically, Brian, you haven't seen it yet, but what happens is Brian's got
at least
three baby mamas, and one is fighting with the other and said to her, "You're such a bad," something along the lines, "You're such a bad mother, even your own mother would agree with me." And that girl called her mother and killed herself on the phone with her mother.
Yeah, I think I did hear that, actually. I think I did.
I never knew
in
that it was
weird
because
response
of Brian.
To
that like I could tell when that girl was talking, the ex
Melanie, the druggie.
I could tell she was a junkie when she was talking. She talks like a junkie, like it's like she's about to like. But I didn't know the details. I felt like I was in a room where I shouldn't be. This is like family business, and then it was
like
on
you shouldn't
TV.
know this shit.
Yeah, I shouldn't know. I don't. That was.
I feel bad for Melanie because obviously
Me too.
shit happened that led her to drug abuse. But man, besides her mannerisms, she's got track marks up and down her arm.
Oh my God, she didn't even try to cover that stuff.
No.
I know.
And I feel bad for
too.
Brian Jr. because he wants a relationship with his mom, and she's just such a fuck up drug addict.
But here's the kicker is I'm so empathetic and but she's trying I believed with the way she wanted.
I want to hope that she's trying. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, a junkie will tell you whatever, and that is what it is. But I believe I could just see she wasn't making excuses, and I do appreciate that she wasn't trying.
She was honest.
I do appreciate that. And all I'm saying is, what a fucking season 2.
I might have to go watch that shit right now. I might have to watch that shit right now.
Both parts are on YouTube. I've already shared them to my Twitter from last week, so it's up there.
Yeah, Vice. I mean, it's Vice, right?
I also kind of love, but I'm such a Steve Austin fan. I loved hearing him in this, and I was like, you should be.
It was so good to hear Stone Cold in the show.
Yeah,
dope. I'm watching it.
And Meltzer. As much as I hate Meltzer, it's nice to have him there.
Yeah. It's so crazy just watching this stuff when I was a kid and then hearing it as an adult, but in context that I can understand it as an adult. Behind the scenes stuff.
Back when I was 12 and you'd see a wrestling angle, you'd have so many behind the scenes questions. And now through the shows and the podcast, you can get all of it answered. And I fucking love that shit.
I love it. I'm the biggest. I think Steve Austin is doing a great job on his podcast or just talking to people. I love hearing them talk as normal people and friends. And it's I kind of like seeing the wizard behind the curtains. I don't know, humanizes these people that were just obviously just superhero-esque characters. I like hearing them as real people. Hearing Mankind call in to Steve Austin, and I love Steve Austin. So I love
the Jericho podcast was fucking great. Him and Jericho.
Oh, I've never even heard that. That's crazy,
dude. And it's because it's recent. It's a month old maybe because he's AEW, right? So they're crossing over. Apparently Vince is pissed, and that's a bunch of shit.
Fuck.
Yeah,
wild, that's crazy, man. Damn.
All right.
I think this is the third longest episode we've ever done.
Let's send this bitch off. Kyle, where can they find you, your music, all your shit? You got maybe a cartoon coming out. What do you want people to know about, and where can they find you?
Just at Kyle Lucas on all. It's just at Kyle Lucas on all the socials. I got a new album coming out, and I got a bunch of cool stuff with TV happening too. I'm just really excited to kind of transition to the second part of my career, and I'm really just excited. And all my fans, I know I'm not the most consistent artist, and I just appreciate if you're hearing this right now. If you watch this, thank you. For just being a great fan and just kind of going with me during my life, I guess, the ups and downs. And I'm not as visible as most people, but I appreciate you so much. So thank you. At Kyle Lucas, I got an album coming out, and within a couple months, I
believe the title of it is Piriformis, if I'm not mistaken.
Now we know.
And if you want an advanced title stream on that album, you can go ahead and hit me up, and I'll lie to you about it. I'll also give you a fake release date.
And then tomorrow we'll get the emergency podcast with I Hate the Scene about the Taco Bell order, and we'll just see we'll hear what they have to say about it.
And we'll schedule Michael Skaggs, and he'll fall asleep and bail on it.
The live update on the Taco Bell nonsense. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much. I've honestly enjoyed this conversation so much. So guys, thank you.
It's been fun.
Thank you, man. Yeah, your authenticity.
We can probably keep going for
sure.
hours.
And I'm gonna hit you up about getting Raskas because I think you guys would love him on this.
Fuck yeah.
He needs to be on this.
I love me some Razkaz.
Razzie.
Put a gerbil under your Christmas tree. Brian, where can they find you?
Of course, as always, they can find me at @OfBrianOfDeath on Instagram and Twitter. Kyle, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Kyle knows good taste when he sees it, so go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram and Twitter of Brian of Death.
It was an obligatory follow. It meant nothing.
At The Common Chaos. At The Common Chaos for my podcast. You can find that at The Common Chaos on Twitter and on Instagram and commonchaos.net. Matt, what do we have in store next week, and where can they find you?
Suckers got to know I'll be in the ring defending my ECW World Heavyweight Championship, and I'm coming for you, Hulk Hogan. I'm coming for you. You can find me at iHateTheScene. You can find me on Twitter. I am always giving hot takes, shitting on cops and j.cole. You can find that at IH8TE the scene because some dumb son of a bitch stole our Twitter handle.
This week again we're gonna follow the tune. Drop all your fan questions to the Twitter. I know I keep changing it on Matt. I'm not gonna talk shit anymore. We're turning over a new leaf. We didn't have any fan questions this week because we did a 3-hour episode with Kyle Lucas, but we normally have fan questions. You guys can drop them our way at iHateTheScene on Twitter. That is IH8 the scene.
RIP New Jack.
The scene. Yeah. And again,
RIP New Jack.
Jerome
Catch
Young.
us every single Friday night. We are on youtube.com/c/iHateTheScene, twitch.tv/iHateTheScene. And starting next week, we are unbanned from Facebook. Yeah, give it up for woo! Yeah, definitely do not point out when racist people are racist and ignorant. You will still get banned no matter how correct you are. Thanks, Zuckerberg, you fucking jerk.
You're right.
We will be, yeah, he is a robot, you fucking clone. We will be killing it on those platforms. Wow, I literally stay until the end to see who stole the Twitter handle. Yep, and Brian botched it 3 weeks in a row. He couldn't even come up with the name. And you know what? The worst part about it, the last time he came up with the name, pretty sure was a band member of the band we were currently interviewing. So that was fucking stupid. But thanks. You can find all those links at iHateTheScene.com. And we.
I was gonna say Jerome Young. Friday. I was gonna say Jerome Young, but
New Jack didn't steal it. Oh my god!
Hey, also, shout out again to New Jack.
Brian, congrats on the marriage, man.
Fuck. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, we're gonna stay in touch, Kyle.
You and the eventual
no
divorce.
doubt. When
that was fucked up.
When
if you're lucky,
I'm getting blurry. He booted himself because he knew that was out of poor taste. No, man. Hey, when I said class, I meant it. You've definitely been one of the better guests on here, and we appreciate your enthusiasm.
Any other podcasts? Let's do more together, man.
He was way classier than that baby, that's for sure.
I appreciate the conversation, guys. I really do. Also.
Absolutely. I'm blurry, so let's go, baby. What do we got, Matt? How are we closing out? A New Jack toast?
Yeah.
The OG.
RIP New Jack. Make sure you tune in next week. We're going to have Aussie pop punk band Stuck Out. It's our first Aussie guest. It's going to be like 1 o'clock in the afternoon and fucking late as shit for us. So it's going to be super cool. Toast to New Jack, the ECW legend.
Legend.
RIP, lost baby. Another one. EC Dub. I hit the wrong button.
I knew I was fucked.